Lights, action, camera. Every time I press, actually, what do I press when I go live? I think it's start. Every time I press start, I think, have I got everything right? I've got people in the chat room. I've set up a poll. I'm streaming on 6 different locations. So welcome to all those people on Twitch, Twitter, Kick, LinkedIn. What other ones do we stream on? Twitter, Twitch, too many. Rumble's the other one that we do stream on. So welcome to everyone here. So we've got a really good show for you tonight in your world, or this afternoon in my world. This morning I spent the morning doing gardening. So I got in the shower about 1:30. I try to stream about 2 o'clock every day. I don't know what time of day that is where you're from. My audience is global. And I see people in the chat room have a chat before I even start. So welcome to those people. We like to cover different opportunities. And when I say opportunities, we're not giving you the green flag when we see a good one. We're just highlighting red flags because we're not regulated financial advisors, and we're never going to promote anything here that is going to provide you a doorway to your financial freedom or give you a passive income. Because personally, I'm entrepreneurial. I believe you do a hard day's work for a good day's pay. I don't believe that you give your money away and give it to some person that claims they're going to turn you into a gazillionaire within a few months or years, like we've seen recently with BG Wealth Sharing. Now, BG Wealth Sharing has collapsed. There's a whole lot of dirty, disgusting things happening at the moment. Claims where they've now set up a brand new company and encouraging people to start over again, and they can create a new account for $200 instead of $500. They're also telling people that if they want their money, they need to deposit 12% onto the platform. Now, I've literally seen promoters who are telling people that they are not going to put 12% into the platform to potentially get some of their money back, but they will let you make your own mind up, which is kind of ironic when you see these promoters telling you to jump over the cliff and invest in an opportunity like BG Wealth Sharing, and they're telling you they're not sure what they're going to do and you're on your own. And that's kind of why we do these videos, because we're not here to actually stop the scammers, because I don't believe you can stop them. My job and my Avengers job is to name and shame anyone running or promoting a Ponzi scheme or a scam. Nowhere in there do I say stop, help, recover, find and track down and jail people, even though in an ideal world, I'd love to find the people behind BG Wealth Sharing. And to be honest, we actually have found them. They are actually in human trafficking compounds. Yes, you might answer an advert that you see in a newspaper in your local country about a job overseas where you can go abroad and finally get the job that you really want. And because you've studied for 5 or 6 years and got a massive student loan, you might think it's a good idea to go and overseas for a while and do the hard yards to build up your career. But the unfortunate truth is, when you turn up in these countries, they take your passport off you and tell you that the free flights that you just got now have to be returned to the place that you're now working for, and you're enslaved to that place, and they won't let you out, and you're enslaved to work in a human trafficking compound. Honestly, I've seen the Google images of 7 or 8 different human trafficking compounds around the world, and they are like cities within themselves with armed guards and barbed wire. You might as well have got your ticket to the local prison. That's where BG Wealth Sharing is operating out of. Now, if you think there is a real professor, I was listening to a video today which was really, really good. And it was a guy who invested in BG Wealth Sharing, and he was basically saying that what fascinates him about these scams is the psychology and the dirty tricks that these people now use. He was pretty savvy. I'm actually thinking of doing a video of all these YouTubers who are now sort of saying, I'm sorry. And that's what leads into really well with this particular one, because we've got a promoter here that we actually had a 2-hour discussion with. And we did it on one of our videos. And after the video, you wouldn't actually think that this YouTuber would actually carry on promoting anything that he didn't know 100% about. But before we did that 2-hour discussion with him, we were in a Zoom meeting. I actually were about to release this video on Polar, is it Tensor? I might be wrong. But I think I'll read my introduction and get you guys into it, because I think this one is really fascinating me. Because at the moment, the Avengers have had a a bit of limelight thrown on them through CoffeeZilla, who's produced a video. And last time I looked, I think it was 2.6 million views in 3 days. And he basically interviewed me face-to-face in his $10 million studio. And since then, we've got an influx. So just the other night, big round of applause to the crypto, well, not the crypto Ponzi scheme Avenger, but to myself and my Avengers who have cracked over 70,000 viewers. And to be honest, it would be even nice to have a show of hands, which I always like doing some of these things here. So we have a show of hands. There we go. Thank you very much. So we've got 70,000 viewers, and I never, ever thought we would get to the stage where we had 70,000 viewers. When I started my YouTube channel, I was so happy to have 1,000 YouTubers so I could monetize. And I remember the first paycheck I got was like $300 or $400. I thought, wow, that was amazing. The following month, I got I think $1,200, and I thought, oh, I can make a profession out of being a YouTuber. This would be fantastic. Then the following month after that, went back to about $300 a month. Now at that time, I was covering a scam called Hyperverse, and my videos were getting like 3,000 to 5,000 views every time I did a video, and that would actually generate. One video alone was one I did about a guy who was telling people how they could recover their money, and he guaranteed he could give people tips on how to recover their money. And that video, because everyone was desperate at the time trying to figure out how to recover, took off, and that actually made me, one video alone, I think it's the most I've ever made on a video, was $400 by producing one video. So a lot of people accuse me of doing things, well, I don't know what you think, how I make my money. I don't make my money from YouTube clicks, because on average, I normally get about $300 or $400 a month from my YouTube activities. And since coffee's come along, that has certainly boosted things, but I've actually received about 3,000 new subscribers since coffee's dropped his video. But would you believe my biggest growth spurt lately has actually by doing videos on BG Wealth sharing, very similar to when I was doing Hyperverse videos. And why is that? That's because so many people invested in BG Wealth sharing. Now, I am going to go off script here because I want to find the video of the individual that I watched while I was doing the garden today. And I think it's relevant because what I'm seeing happen is I'm actually seeing people who are actually, I don't even know how to explain it, but they are telling their story. Now, this individual here, so I can bring him up now. I would like to do a whole video on this guy. So I'm going to just post his URL for his video in there. And I want you to bookmark this and go back and watch this individual. I don't know who he is. I have watched him every now and again. But this guy, he basically, I think he's done a really good job of talking about how the psychology, how people thought they would get involved with BG Wealth sharing. This guy he said he's entrepreneurial. He's had a business, he sold a business, he's had money, he's lost money. He talks about the psychological effects that money has on people. You know, do we need debt in our lives? I actually really resonated with what he was saying. And in here, while I was doing the garden, I actually posted a comment in here, which I wanted to sort of not call him out on, but I wanted to have my 2 cents worth on what he actually said. And you can see it was edited 3 hours ago. I said, I was listening to your podcast / video while I was doing the gardening, and I wanted to give you some feedback because I honestly, you shared some really good information to people. And this is what we're trying to do with this very video. The same YouTubers that we see promoting BG Wealth sharing are now realizing that it was a scam, and they're sort of trying to explain why they didn't think it was a scam and also where to from here. This guy wasn't quite doing this. He said, I'll be honest, I was actually a little surprised you got caught up with the scam. Asked to listen to his expertise and his way of thinking because there were a lot of red flags. But at the same time, it really shows how sophisticated and I can't even say that word, but manipulative, I still can't say it, these scammers are. So I wanted to give you credit where it was due. You gave some solid advice, and I think your honesty and transparency was valuable. And I really, really mean that. There were just a couple of things that I noticed where I think the scammers still may have managed to control the narrative. So even though he was given his journey, telling, how he thought, the process and everything, he still was repeating stuff that the scammers want him to believe. So, for example, the claim about 900,000 people were involved. There's no proof of that. But he said there was 900,000 people involved. He might have said they say, but he actually said that. And I thought, isn't it funny that even though he's now fully aware it's a scam, that he still believes there's 900,000 people involved. So I would love you guys to actually tell me whether you think the same thing. Maybe in the comment section. I'll put them up in a minute when I finish my rant. But anyway, there's actually no proof of that. And mathematically, it doesn't make much sense considering how communication and support was supposedly being managed behind the scenes. Now, you think about it. Everyone was chatting to the professor or Emma, whatever her name was, and everyone thought that they had an intimate relationship with the professor. People are still talking like the professor is a real individual or a real person. I believe it's a bank of 5,000 cell phones, which are all managed by people rotating on different shifts out of human trafficking compounds. They will have a select team. They would have 10 people. This is how I'd manage it if I was running a human trafficking compound. I'd have 10 people on a rotation system, calming the farm, sending out messages, maybe even a small boardroom where they talk about what to say to people and how to feed and control the narrative. I don't think that's rocket science, but do I think there was one individual behind this chatting to 900,000 people? No. I think that one of the psychological tricks they used was making the operation sound massive, so people automatically assumed it must be legitimate. The other thing is the timeline. A lot of people keep repeating that this has been running for more than 12 months. But there's no real evidence of that either, other than a few leaders claiming that they've been in it for more than 12 months. Now, I think they're too embarrassed to actually admit that this wasn't true, and they have to keep face. If you search for CR Group LLC, now this is the other thing on my website. Now, you don't actually really need to do that. You can just go to Google, I think, and sure enough, here comes the search result. So it's CR Group LLC, right? And here is CR Group LLC, and they had an exchange called UICEX. The scam was exactly the same as BG Wealth Sharing. In fact, on the 25th of December 2025, they told everyone that they need to put 20% into the platform or they would risk losing all their money forever. So all of a sudden, they were using BonChat as well. This scam stopped. And then another one started up called Signal Raiders. They were doing the same thing. However, my team of Avengers actually shut down that website and controlled the narrative on that one ourselves. And then shortly after that, we heard that BG Wealth Sharing was starting up in other countries. They went global, in other words. So going back to here, if you search for CR Group LLC on my website, you'll see what appears to have been the original test version of this scam operating in New Zealand before BG Wealth existed. Now, we've been in chat rooms, and what we do is we go into WhatsApp, right? And if you're in there, we scrape the whole database and we tag everybody in these groups. So would you believe we tagged people that were in CR Group LLC groups, and we tagged them as CR Group LLC members. And we're seeing the same people in these chat groups that are talking who were tagged to be in the CR Group LLC scam. So the people that are claiming they're in it for more than 12 months probably were in both scams. And that's what we see. Promoters going from one scam to the next, which is quite interesting. Anyway, back then, they froze withdrawals and told people they had to deposit an extra 20% by 25th of December 2025, or they would lose everything forever. Sound familiar? That's why we believe the 12-month success story narrative is widely fabricated to make the scheme appear older and more trustworthy than it really is. Also, I'm at the top of the pyramid. I must have been here longer than you. Also, personally, I don't believe there ever was a real Stephen Beard, because this individual still talked about Stephen Beard like he's a brother from another lover. More likely, this operation has been ran out of organised scam compounds. It is, using teams of people managing banks of phones and messaging to keep the illusion alive. Overall, though, I generally appreciated your video, which I did. You came across transparent, raw, honest, and I respect that. The reality is even intelligent people get caught up in these scams. And that's why we're talking to you intelligent people now that may have invested. But boy, are you going to think twice before you hand over your money again in the future? I'd actually be interested in connecting with you further because I think you'd make a good Avenger. Now, we're building an Avenger network here. We want these YouTubers that have been promoting or sharing their experience or their day jobs to actually come on board with us and help us fight these scammers. We believe that we can make a difference. We're in a good position to take on other Avengers at the moment, and we need help. We need people to help storm Zoom meetings where people are sitting here promoting these scams. So if you don't join forces with us, we're going to come after you. Okay, the work we do relies on people being willing to speak openly and honest about what's happening, and I think you've got that quality. Feel free to reach out any time. Now, I haven't had a reply yet, and that's fine, but I don't know if you've been following this guy, and he's only got 1,500 subscribers. But when you see headlines like this, 500 to 1 million in 12 months, I mean, I don't like those claims. And if you go through here and you have a look at videos, thumbnails, you can look at, now he's out there preaching. So this video got 4,300 views in a day. But I have been following this guy to a certain degree. But what we're actually finding is a lot of these YouTubers have been promoting BG wealth sharing. And even now, you can still sign up for a BG wealth sharing. So these videos really shouldn't be online. But look at this, guys. I'm just, as a YouTuber, I look at the views, right? And I don't want you to judge me by views, but I'm going to judge this guy by views. 93, 99, 85, 123, 65, 22, 17, 13, 28, 33, 98, 35. Now, I reckon that this guy would do better at exposing the scams. If we go up near the top, I was scammed. 8,200 people have looked at this video. This one, my journey from FBI seized BG Wealth, 16,000 people. This one, hacked, 9K, 3.5Ks. This guy has realized he's getting more traffic because he wants to be a YouTuber. Who doesn't want to be a YouTuber? So this guy's realizing that by producing content, exposing the scam, he's getting more videos, more visits. And now all these videos will start coming out there. Now here he is. I've already done a video about this. This video, that next 1,000 times Solana expand. I've done a video about this here. I don't even know how long ago. This video here, 100 views. So this is an opportunity, the next 1,000x. This video is a waste of time, my friend. You don't need to have this type of content on your YouTube channel. You are better. 70,000 subscribers. Let's go. Thank you, Richard. So what I'm getting at here, guys, is this guy's wasting his time promoting financial opportunity. He's not a regulated financial advisor as far as I'm aware. He would be better off, if he wants to be a YouTuber, doing videos exposing scams than he would do promoting them. Now, I'm going to reach out to this guy, but when I see links like this, we click on the link. Where does it take me? I have no idea. The most informative reward system I've seen in crypto. And it's built on Solana. Enter your best email below to get spammed on a daily process, and you'll have a car like this one day too. Now, does this guy own a car like this? Does this guy drive a car like this? So no, he's out there recruiting people. He wants you to be in a sales funnel. I don't know what he's doing. I want to have a meeting with him. Now, ironically, we've got a video tomorrow that's coming in. Oh, hold on. Oh, hold up. Quick heads up. Before you leave, this is worth 15 seconds. What I want to show you after you opt in, which is spelt wrong, I think, isn't about trading, hype, or being an expert. It's about getting rewarded for simply participating. No experience. Oh my God, it's perfect. No budget. It's free. No complicated setup. It's going to teach me how to wipe my ass, no doubt. Maybe I don't need toilet paper. Okay, you unlock access to a system where the community votes on projects and participants get rewarded regularly just for being involved. Oh boy, this sounds like SCF vibe ratings. Anyway, even people with zero crypto or marketing background can do this. You don't need to decide anything now, but skipping this without understanding it, that's how most people miss out the good stuff. Do you feel the pressure, ladies and gentlemen? Do you feel the pressure of this? Close this annoying pop-up and have a quick look and see why this is different. What's it different to? Other scams. Look, This guy, I can tell you now, I've been in IT marketing for a long time. I can tell you this guy would be lucky if one person a day put their email address in here. Is it worth the time and energy at trying to get people involved in something with pressure tactics? I don't even know what this is offering. I don't even know what's going to happen to my email address if I put it in here. I've got no terms and conditions. He could do whatever he likes with my email address, but he's trying to force me into a sales funnel where he's going to change my life. And I just noticed that the guy that's going to change my life has made a critical mistake by not identifying the red flags of BG wealth sharing and got involved in doing it himself. So his claim of $500 to $1 million in 12 months, what is he referring to? Is that a claim or a statement that he can do himself? Is this guy a millionaire? Does he do the talk and does he do the walk? Or is he telling you how to do the talk and the walk? Is he trying to manipulate, control you? 321 videos. I can guarantee you 95% of them are failed Ponzi schemes. The other 5% are still waiting to fall over. I'm sick and tired of seeing these YouTubers sharing their friggin' journey when they are just muddying the waters. We don't need this shit on the internet. I've just proven to you on his own YouTube channel that he would be better off promoting and, helping people fight scams if he wants to be a YouTuber. I think he wants to be a YouTuber. I don't think this guy's a millionaire in 12 months. You get where I'm coming from. Right, the other one I wanted to do is show you a bit of a funny setup we've got. So when I go to deheck.com, let's go to my YouTube channel. Dunk. All right, so this is my YouTube channel. And if we go to the live section, you'll see that we have actually got an interview here. And this is Queen of Karma and Batman Earl. Oh, Batman Earl is going to come on our, hopefully our YouTube channel at 9 o'clock my time tomorrow, which I think is 5 o'clock Eastern time. I could have that wrong. But you can go there and click on that, notify me when it's going to be there. Now, while we've done that, Earl has also been promoting BG wealth sharing. And Queen of Karma called him a scammer. He said, "Hey, man, don't call me a scammer. I'm not a scammer. I'm just documenting my journey." But he's also been deleting his videos, the ones that went wrong, and only keeping the ones that went right. He's a YouTuber. He's done 2,800 videos. That's a lot of videos. I think that's about the same as me. And every one of them I know he would cherish because it's more content on your YouTube channel. He's got 11,000 subscribers. This guy should have a voice. Once again, we want to convert Earl into being an Avenger. We need more Avengers. We need people to actually call these guys out for what they are. So I set myself up a studio to do this. Now, hopefully this works when I click this button. Here I am. And look, we're going to have tomorrow, I'll just get this right. We're going to have Earl. He will be in that spot. And then tomorrow we'll have Queen of Karma. She'll be in that spot. And I'll be able to do an interview like this. What do you reckon? Isn't that funny? You can see the chat box. That's worth it, isn't it? I think it's bloody good. But anyway, Earl couldn't make it today. So that's what we're doing. So now I'll go back to my big screen and I'll get stuck back into my introduction I was going to do. So today we're going to be talking about Brian. Now, Brian has been promoting BG wealth sharing as well. And I think I have to go back to my other screen before I get distracted because this is worth noting. So we were going to do this video a wee while ago, but I kept getting interrupted. And somewhere along here, I think it was in my videos things, we actually had a heart-to-heart with this individual. And I thought it was a really good one. And I'm trying to figure out where it was. Earl, Brian, there it is. So we were...
Cola-sized company or a Coca-Cola company.
So I was hanging out on the internet, just been told that there is actually a live Zoom meeting, which we could drop into, which I'm actually going to do. If you want to help me fight scams. So we caused...
That's pretty serious.
What we did is we caused a major disruption in a Zoom meeting and we managed to shut it down. Now, this is what we want. We want Zoom Raiders. We're starting up a new channel called Zoom Raiders, and that's where we get people who know how to manage Zoom. We'll teach you everything you need to know. And when there's a Zoom meeting pushing a scam like this guy was pushing the other day, we go in there and we shut them down. So this was a video where we shut down Brian. And then he got to the point where he said, "Oh, stuff this. I can't compete." Shut down the Zoom, issued out a new Zoom meeting. 10 minutes later, we were back in there and we shut that one down as well. And then after it all happened, I had his phone number. So I rang him up And we had a great conversation.
And when people hear about it, they start inviting you to stages. So yeah.
Wow.
It's been some great, I had some great crowds over the years.
And whereabouts was that? So we had a heart-to-heart with him, and I tell you, at the end, if I felt like I broke the camel's back. I felt like we actually managed to he said to us, well, can you give me some opportunities that aren't scams so I can promote them? Because I don't want to promote scams that come out of human trafficking compound. And we broke this whole conversation down to the fact that he didn't realize it was coming out of a human trafficking compound. He had only been promoting this one for 7 days, so he can't have done much research. And then I called him out on it. So what we've got coming up is we've actually got the videos where he's actually was promoting it, and this was produced before, I don't know how to say it, before we broke the camel's back. So we're sort of going back in time, but to be honest, I want to show you because I want to use Brian here, which hopefully Brian's going to become an Avenger. We haven't heard from him since, but we're also going to find, hopefully somebody might be able to actually give me Brian's YouTube channel because I haven't got it handy. And I want to see what he's been promoting after the fact, after this conversation that we had with him. All right, so go to YouTube, mate. I'll tell you. So we had a pretty cool conversation with him, and it was live, and it was raw, and we had a good, happy ending, as they say. But what I want to do is I want to go and see what this guy's been doing after the fact. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go through the opportunity here, Polar Tension. We're also going to tell you that BehindMLM has already done an expose on it already. We're also going to show you that Gaga has sent me a cease and desist letter, and now she's famous on BehindMLM. He's done a really, really good job on that. We're also going to show you that some of the other opportunities that I have done stuff on in the past have finally fallen over, I presume, these MEVBot trading things, and it's really, really cool. Oz is absolutely fantastic. And the other one that was going to show you is the quantum network. So we've actually got quite a lot to show you today, but the quantum network has fallen over. But my point is, when I went to BehindMLM today, normally I don't know all the opportunities or the scams that he's been doing, but let's say on the homepage of BehindMLM, we've got Gaga, her threat to me, Smarts, which is a scam I've already busted, and I come down here and I go quantum network, I've already done. So there's 3 scams that I've done stories on myself, and this isn't the first articles that BehindMLM's done, but I'm just saying that there's a network of people who have had enough. Oz is I said to him in an email this morning that you're an unsung hero, but my community puts you on a pedestal because you do the good reporting. And any time I talk to any individual who's running or promoting these Ponzi schemes and scams and mention BehindMLM, they just sort of push it to the side and go, I don't read that stuff, that's negative. And I go, well, it's about time you started reading this stuff because it's telling you that you're promoting stuff that's coming out of human trafficking compounds, and we've had enough. So that's quite good. But anyway, before I get into it, I don't need that anymore. I'm going to read my introduction and carry on reading that. So in this video, we're going to walk through the investigation into Polar. Now, I'm not even sure how to say this word.
Tensor.
Polar Tensor, an AI trading platform. Sound familiar? Has now been pushed towards people who were involved in BG wealth sharing and DSJ exchange, which everyone just absolutely loves hearing now, don't you? What makes this so disturbing is the timing. People are already have already been hurt, confused, and financially damaged from BG wealth sharing. Yet, instead of warning them to stop and think, some promoters are now encouraging them to believe in another so-called AI trading opportunity. One of the key figures, Brian N. Is it Bernie?
Being.
Ooh, got it.
Being.
He's claimed he had been promoting Polar Tension. So get this, Brian claimed he has only been promoting Polar Tensor for about 7 days. Oh, he's still promoting it. Yet Susie's just told me in the chat room that he is still promoting Polar Tensor today. Well, we're going after you, mate. Yet he has already put serious energy into selling it as the next best thing after BG wealth sharing. That raises a very simple question. How much due diligence can someone really do in 7 days before encouraging people to risk even more money? He doesn't care. That's the point, ladies and gentlemen. He's still promoting Polar tension pitched today. And we should actually ring him up. I don't even know where my phone is. That's a good point. Where's my phone? Maybe we should ring him up and see why he's still promoting it. Or we should give him a link and promote, send him a link. I have to go find my phone. Where's my phone, Danny? Okay, so I'm going to actually go find my phone, and I'm going to read my rest of my introduction while I'm looking for my phone. So you can read my introduction for me.
I'll be breaking down Brian's own video, the Polar Tensor pitch deck, the MLM style compensation plan, the promised weekly returns, the license fees, the ranks, the residual rewards, and the wider pattern of promoters moving from one collapsed scheme to another. This is not just about Polar Tensor. This is about the promoter pipeline. When one scheme collapses, the public needs to watch who immediately starts selling the next one, because in my opinion, that is where the real danger sits.
Hey Siri, where's my phone? I can't find my phone. Hold it, I'm going to find my phone. It's kind of funny, isn't it? All right, shut up, phone. All right, so hopefully you enjoyed how do you shut this thing up? Good one, me. All right, so that's great. So we might ring up Brian if we get a way about that. But anyway, hopefully you read my introduction, you get the point. So what I really think we should do is go straight into Brian and listen to him telling you how good this story is. Susie, incoming call. Okay. You know you're live. You there? That was Bernie is Polar today. Don't know why you rang me, Susie, but anyway, strange. Okay, so we need to go straight into him, and we're going to listen to our friend here, Brian, and what he's promoting, and then I'll go into seeing why. Oh, here we go, incoming voice call. I'm in the wrong box. Call back. Susie might have done me a pocket call then. Let's go.
I want to get right into this. I'm very, very excited. I just landed from Las Vegas. I'm not there for a couple of days. And while I was actually in the air, I heard that BonChat was blowing up. When I landed, I heard that BonChat blew up. BG blew up. Where's Stephen Beard? We've been hacked. I heard a whole bunch of stuff. I've not had time to really sit down and look at every single email because I've heard so many different things. But I want you guys to write this down because I'm going to give y'all some real direct response. In business, you want to be real, direct, and cut to the chase so people can make a sound decision. It ain't no fluff and puff. I ain't never been no fluff and puff kind of guy, and I'm not going to be no fluff and puff kind of guy tonight. I think everybody appreciates directness. I think everybody appreciates leadership. I think everybody appreciates honesty, and I think everybody appreciates a lack of emotion. I want y'all to write down this theory and this philosophy because it speaks for itself. Use this in different areas of your life, and you will find that it serves you well. It's called Occam's razor. Occam's razor is the belief that the shortest and most direct answer is usually the best. The shortest.
I just realized why you're ringing me, Susie, because you helped me find my phone. I just yelled out, hey, I yelled out something, hey, Siri. I said, help me find my phone, and it started ringing. Got you now. Now, I'm just going to say, I bet Brian uses this every time he has a collapsed Ponzi scheme. I'm dying of thirst because I've been out doing the garden. I'm going to let him play. I've seen the start of this, and I watched enough of it and think I need to broadcast this because this guy, this Occam's razor thing is basically saying the fastest way to the end is a straight line and cut your losses and move on to the next scam. And he's justifying all the promotion he's done in the past and basically saying you need to make an informed decision. And what he's doing here is he's building trust with you and he's grooming your thinking. And this is, if you can't pick up that these guys are doing this and he doesn't really care about you, you know, this guy's claim to fame, so to speak, is, stupid and untrue. I believe this guy's on the bones of his ass and he hasn't got a brass razoo to his name, any claims of wealth. He wouldn't be stuck inside a Zoom meeting and doing these presentations on a daily basis if he was so successful. Let's carry on listening. I'll go get a drink.
And most direct answer is usually the best. Teach your children that, teach your grandchildren that. As adults, you need to know that. Occam's razor has gotten me very, very far. Now, Brian, what do you mean by Occam's razor? Well, I want y'all to think about this for a second. If you're in a program, because it's not a company, it's a program. It's not a company, it's a program. I'm going to introduce you guys to a company tonight. But as far as the program and the things that we were doing, putting these companies together, it actually made a program. Here's what I mean by that. If overnight you hear 5 or 6 different things, to me, it's nothing but confusion. To me, using the word tax is nothing but confusion. Now, I'm just gonna give y'all my personal opinion. This is my opinion. You can believe what you want. But I'm a believer in Occam's razor, which is a theory. Tax ain't nothing but confusion. Adding more money is nothing but confusion. Still trading is nothing but confusion. Hacks, possibly, because it did sound a little fishy and sound like, beer don't sound like what I was reading. Hacks, possibly, yes. But all of that is confusion. One word drives a organization and a program. That word is belief. When you have a hack, when you have somebody asking for a quote unquote tax, when you have a belief, and I'll give y'all a quick letter here from a level 10, an update here from a level 10. When you have a belief that something has happened to Professor, when you have a belief that he is missing and may have been kidnapped, when you have a belief that he may have run off with the money, when you have a belief that they may open up training in a week, all of that boils down to Occam's razor, disbelief. And whenever you have disbelief, people rush to what? Withdraw. I want y'all to think about this for a second. Just use some common sense. If people went to the bank right now and everybody got scared of Wells Fargo and everybody got scared of Bank of America and everybody got scared of Truist and everybody got scared of Chase and everybody got scared of PNC, if everybody went to withdraw and the lines are wrapped around the building, that teller is going to eventually shut down because the money is not there. The money's not at this bank. The money's not at that bank. That's why America hates a depression or a mentality of a Great Depression, because if we all go to the bank and rush because we believe the economy is going to collapse, then the money's not there and belief is gone. That's the only thing that there is belief in it, because somebody will take it.
Well, why wouldn't the money be there after all the promises that he preached before BG Wealth? Because he's telling you things like they only use 1% of your money when they trade and the rest of it to give you the illusion that your money's safe. And this is guy eating humble pie in a way, when it's not humble, but this is bullshit. So he's saying that the reason why BG Wealth collapsed is everyone withdrew their money. Technically speaking, all the money should have been sitting there and it should have been able to be withdrawn, deposited. The money was never at risk, going by what he preached earlier on.
Well, the same thing is true here. Once belief leaves, in my opinion, it's a wrap. Now, am I hoping for the best? Yeah, I got 5 figures over there. But I have to act like the...
So he's in the same boat as you. And I asked him, you said you had, when we had that quiet conversation, I said you had 5 figures. So does that mean $10,000, $50,000? It was stuck on the platform. And if he got that much money, I want to know how much he initially invested. And if he only invested $500, then that figure would mean he obviously pushed a lot of people off the cliff who signed up underneath him. And then he relied on commissions. And that's what these guys do. This is all about recruitment for him. This is not about a platform that is secure. And that's why he can jump straight into this Polar one, only finding out about it 7 days ago, because he's all of a sudden found the green light that says, oh, look, I'll get commissions if I promote this. He doesn't care about what he's promoting. And that's why this guy is actually a bottom feeder on the planet. He doesn't care about you. He cares about him. And he's claiming that he's so successful, he doesn't need money. And he's trying to share the love.
Belief, which is all that everything is based on, the belief and a million different hacks, rumors, kidnapping, tax, that causes a lack of belief. So everybody will eventually hit the eject button, and when everybody hits the eject...
And this is absolutely batshit crazier if you can get that way, because the last guy I said, I listened to the video, he said that you don't have to have belief. This is business. This is a financial investment opportunity, theoretically, that this is a contract draw agreement where if you give them this, they will give you that. There is no such thing as belief, because if you think belief is part of this financial investment opportunity that he's trying to preach now, then you might as well join a cult, because you just have to believe the cult leader, Stephen Beard, originally.
But at the same time, then guess what happens? People panic. And when people panic, then guess what? Their withdrawals get slow. And when withdrawals get slow, guess what happens? Belief shuts down. So I'm a believer in Occam's razor. I just flew out to Vegas and found another solution. I don't wait on the person that caused the problem to fix it. That's just me. How are you going to fix the problem if you caused the problem? So I'm supposed to sit around here and wait. All right, let me see what they're going to do. Let me see what they're going to do. No, if you cause the problem, you can't fix the problem.
You caused the problem.
I can fix the problem by making sure we diversify and making sure
oh
I find
my God, the diversify speech
where everybody can still compound. Because I told y'all, this is a new game. This is a new industry. Trading and AI is a new industry. And with that comes bumps and bruises and finding the right one. But I want you guys to remember this, an investor mentality. I'm gonna give y'all something, I'm gonna lead us along. An investor mentality
this
says
guy's
this.
just rich.
Trading mentality says this. We may have a bad day, but not a bad week. We may have a bad week, but not a bad month. We may have a bad month, but not a bad year. We may have a bad year, but not a bad quarter. You see, so guess what?
What?
The past 30, 60, 90, or however many days, for some, withdrew, fine, made their money back years ago, made 10 times their money, that's fine. Some people broke even, that's fine. Some people took a loss, and that's not fine, but it has to be fine. Let me tell you why. You may have a bad day, but you're not going to have a bad week.
Oh my God.
You may have a bad week, but you're not going to have a bad month. You may have a bad month, but you're not going to have a bad year.
Disaster.
Everybody put this in your notes.
The humanity.
Your entire body of work matters. Never
nice
let one opportunity or one
Coffee
investment
rocks.
affect your entire body of work. Your entire body of work matters. Understand this, and I'm going to show you guys something. I'm going to paste this letter from the level 10 in the chat. It's kind of long. I actually don't know if it's going to fit, but I'll post it in our community in school, and I'll try to paste it here.
That doesn't sound right, Queen Akama. I'm just reading your comment. It's on the screen. Sorry.
And I don't mean this to be insensitive. But when I was younger, a lot of drug dealers were in my neighborhood. Now, I was very, very blessed to live in a split big basement, had my mom and dad, but you know, in the suburbs, nice house. You guys have seen it on the pictures that I grew up in. But behind me was unique, was drug selling, drug dealing, stolen cars. It was a unique situation. Right, our backyard was the fence to the hood. What am I getting at? So I'm in my nice house, got both parents, work hard. My dad worked at IBM. My mom worked at IBM, executive assistant. My dad was a computer engineer. You know, sound good. We were struggling financially, but doing better than most at that time.
Learned that from his parents,
but
isn't
my
he?
friends were in the hood. I used to take their drug money. I think it's a statute of limitations on this, so I'm okay. I used to take their drug money and I would hold it and make sure that nobody got hurt, right?
Like money laundering.
I would make sure they didn't get robbed. So they would give me their money and make sure that nobody got robbed. So I would take the different money and I would spread it out. This was yours, and I would keep 10%. This is close as I got to drugs. I never sold drugs. Wasn't for me. Didn't make sense.
Just facilitated it.
Occam's razor. The simplest way to go to jail is to sell drugs. So I would take Andrew's money. Oops. I would take this guy's money, that guy's money, this guy's money, and I would spread it out. They would give me 10%, and they would come and get their money so they wouldn't get robbed. They knew that the guy in the neighborhood, Brian Bean, was solid. I wasn't going to steal it. One day, a gentleman told me, he said, Brian, let me tell you something. You're talented. You're a young man. Whatever you do, don't get in this game. He said, if you can't get in this game and do 10 years to the door, this ain't for you. If you can't get in this game and do 10 years to the door, this ain't for you. I look at him right now, I said, well, guess what? I guess this ain't for me, because I can't do 10 years to the door. He taught me then that in this game, you lose if you can't do 10. This is why we don't introduce everybody to this game, because if you can't do 10 years, you're going to start telling on people, you're going to start snitching. And if you're not of this element and you're not of this hood, you don't need to be in it. I learned then the mentality of a drug dealer.
Okay.
I equate that to the mentality of an investor. If you can't lose, this ain't the game. Because we will always have more wins than losses. But if you got the
Just trying to find his phone number.
I knew it, I shouldn't have did it, I'm pissed, I'm mad, you just don't need to be an investor. You have every right to have those emotions. You have every right. Don't get me wrong. And I'm not being insensitive to those emotions. I'm telling you, you just may want to check the philosophy of a person who says, I'm an investor, because investing is synonymous with losses.
Let's see if we can get him on the phone.
Investing is also synonymous with winning, as long as you look at your whole body of work. So let me show you guys something. This is my quote. This is my quote.
Hope you don't believe this is real, guys.
From Brian to Ivy. I was not going to give you a percentage of my millions if I won, so you're not responsible for me losing 10,000. Now put that in your notes. I want y'all to think about this for a second. See, when you winning, was you gonna give the person that introduced you 10%? When you winning, was you gonna give the person that introduced you half? When you winning, are you gonna give when you withdrew, for those of you that withdrew, did you give your sponsor a tip? When you get 10 million, was I gonna get one? When you get 500,000, was I gonna get 80?
So no, have you got his phone number?
Let me tell you something, bro. I knew what I'm an investor. I knew what was going on when I was getting in. That's how I relieve any guilt of anybody, including myself. If I had made 2 million, I wasn't gonna tip him $250,000. So how am I gonna be mad if I lose 10,000 when you weren't gonna get nothing if I won? See, everybody want to trip when it don't go right, but nobody act right when things are good. That's investing. I'm not being insensitive. I'm not making light of your situation. But we start everything off with, this game is risky.
I think we called him on his Zoom, didn't we? That's what we are. I need to bring him on a Zoom.
Well, Brian, I introduced some people.
Let's do it again.
They heard the same message. It ain't like we deleted that message when you introduce people. Don't invest anything you can't afford to lose. Only take a small percentage of what you got. If you wanted to do a little bit better over here than there, then here's what you do. And look, tonight I'm super excited to show you guys the soft landing that I went out to Vegas for the past 3 days and looked at. But I still got the same mentality, even though it's way, way, way better. I still got the same mentality. I want you to always remember that when investing. If you weren't going to give me a percentage when you won, then I can't be mad at you if I lose.
Hold it.
These are just the facts.
All right. So this guy's annoying the crap out of me. I can't watch that all day long. But obviously you've seen enough of his grooming techniques to basically say, sorry about BG wealth sharing. And now he's basically telling you guys that he's grooming you for another opportunity. He's just moved on. There's just opportunities left, right, and center when you're Brian. Look, so I remember now, I was trying to find his phone number, but what we actually did is we actually stumbled across his Zoom meeting, which is hard case. And he come into his own Zoom meeting. That's how our conversation went down the other night. I know Mincy's in here. He also gave us heads up on another influencer who's promoting this new scheme. So I just thought we'd play that while we're here.
Let me give you the top 10 reasons why I included it in my portfolio, why I put $27,000 into it myself.
Do you notice what he just said there? He said, this is why this scheme's brand new. And he put $27,000 into himself. And then if you look at his eyes right now, he's looked away while he's saying that because he's just made a straight out lie. If he's put $27,000 into this scheme and looks away, he's bullshitting, all right? Oh, we have got his phone number. Should we give him a go? So what I'm getting, thank you, Susie. I knew that was pretty cool. But long story short, you know, this is disgusting because I don't believe a minute that this guy's put $27,000 into it. And if he did, I'd like to see the blockchain, it on the blockchain where you actually did it. But that's the techniques they use to make you think, well, I'll just put in 500 because if this guy's put in $27,000, then it must be real.
And why I'm sharing it with my tribe. Reason number one is there is an asset protection on our principal, which
Oh my
cuts
God.
out a lot of the messy greed, corruption, mismanagement, and allows us to just focus on the one risk that we are willing to accept, which is risk in the actual trading market. And that is something I can live with, is knowing that we actually are in the market facing the ups and downs of real trading, not manipulations
Real trading. He's
of
grooming you.
so-called trading. Reason number 2, you can withdraw your principal at any time with a 10% withdrawal fee.
Why do you,
us the
okay, all right,
flexibility.
hold it a minute. So what exchange do you know that charges you a 10% withdrawal fee? And you can withdraw your money at any time as long as it's approved. And I guarantee it's not instant. So this is the same grooming techniques that you get every single time. I mean, since when has anyone been charged 10% to withdraw your crypto or whatever money is on their platform and thinks that's perfectly normal now? Why do you think that's normal? Well, BG Wealth Sharing used to charge 12%, so this one's only 10. But if you've got money in crypto and you want to transfer it from one to other, you don't pay 10% of whatever your balance is. Absolutely batshit crazy.
Continue as long as we like, knowing that we can access our funds within about the first month. More than likely we would make that and be whole, even if we decide to withdraw our full principal. But you can do that literally tomorrow after your deposit. Average over the last 18 months has been 22%. There is a profit split on that based on your deposit, but pretty consistent results that we can see. Transparent CEO with transparency of trading. Felix has done many Zooms that they do on a kind of company schedule basis, as well as with leaders that have an audience such as myself. And so got a chance to really have a more intimate conversation, ask my own questions, get clarity about it. Really saw something unique in here to include in our portfolio. If you like it for yourself, you may want to share it with your own tribe and earn 15 levels of direct commissions, as well as 10 levels of residual commissions that are coming in and starting to build in the back office. I see this as a very gradual building project that will start to prove itself more and more as there is no rush of huge urgency. I see this as more consistent. We can access our funds anytime, as opposed to, and I say the rush part because in other projects, the sooner you get in, the sooner you break even.
I mean, if you had a bullshit meter on this screen, I need to get one of those. I mean, really? I mean, this guy here, it's just, so he's going to be just like Brian. He's going to be promoting this scheme, not knowing anything about it at all.
And yes, that's the case always, but there's not a lockup here. So people can come in this week, withdraw their principal next week. It's a lot more fluid is what I'm getting at.
Well, yeah, you know, for somebody who just put $27,000 into a platform, you really know it well.
0% automatic withdrawal. We're about to do a first withdraw from this platform. It launched just 2 weeks ago or so, and it's starting to get more and more out there. And we have first access to getting this out there to our communities, and there's a large one-time bonuses that we're able to earn up to hundreds of thousands of dollars. So
okay. Now, from my experience, guys, a lot of these promoters, or a lot of these influencers all go to the same conference. They all get a big, massive backhander if they start promoting this on their YouTube channel. And I just think it's disgusting. So this guy's no doubt doing the same.
If you like any of those points, you may be interested in seeing the back office for your... Let me give you...
All right. So let's have a look at, I think his YouTube channel actually is the Grateful Tribe, and I think I have been here before. Grateful Tribe. Have I spelt that wrong? Probably. Grateful. Checking every word. Scraping dyslexic. Looks the same. Press enter. Did it take us in? No. All right. Okay, let's have a look. Yeah. So what we are going to see is obviously Grateful. Grateful Tribe. Let's see if that comes up. Maybe it didn't have one tell. The Grateful Tribe, that looks like it there. Alrighty, so the Grateful Tribe. So what I do with these guys, I put them, I have a lovely folder called the Grateful Tribe. I now put them in my Ponzi schemers folder, and we can keep an eye on this guy. Let's go. If we look at the YouTubes, we can see the different things. Okay, here we go. You can earn $1,100 and $24 per week in Polar Tensor. Box of cash his mum gave him. That's nice for mum. He's an educator. Crybex, great. Oh, look, I actually stumbled across a video of these people in it the other night. And I was actually berated. I think this might have been the same guy.
Greetings, tribe.
But there was a lady.
It's not possible. I've got this big picture in front of me.
So I've been looking at this new opportunity too. I haven't had enough time. There's not enough hours in the day to actually do a full expose on this particular lady. But this is Crybex. I don't know if even I can do it, but I'm getting distracted here. But there's just, I looked up this website the other day while I was on my phone. And I thought, oh, here we go. The world's first AI exchange. The world's first AI exchange. Well, didn't we just have another one earlier on? Was it AI exchange? Don't know. But here's another opportunity I haven't had a look at. And look at it. Monthly, 29 USD, or yearly, you can pay $250. And that lady that you just saw on the screen is meant to be behind it. But I saw these guys in a chat room the other day interviewing her. And I asked a whole lot of questions. And then all my questions got blanked out. Didn't want to answer them because I'll bring them up on screen. But the fact that he's promoting that is batshit crazy, really. Now, Queen of Karma said something about she was so rapt that she was mentioned in Oz's article, and I saw that before and it made me laugh. So let's bring up the Queen of Karma part. Was it in this one? What do you mean you're world famous now? Queen of Karma. Maybe if I search for Queen. Queen. Oh, look at this. There we go. Look at this. Look at that. Danny DeHick's latest coverage on whatever her name is, let's call her Gaga. BG Wealth Sharing Ponzi scheme was on May the 15th, 2-hour deep dive featuring Queen of Karma. And look at this. We're so cool. Just under 2.5 hours. I will be back. Here we go. Karma is done. And also I do ask if you can subscribe to Queen of... Where are you, Queen of Karma?
Photo's yours. Send me that photo.
Oh, no, I get it.
At the very least.
So I restreamed Queen of Karma's deep dive. And this is actually 100% Queen of Karma's. So it's cool. Look at that, though. We've got 2,700. See, if you want to be a YouTuber, then you expose Gaga. And then you put Gaga's name and BG Wealth Sharing into the interweb, do a video on them, then all of a sudden you get 2,700 views, which is absolutely brilliant. Now, we haven't replied to a lot of these people yet, but there's a lot of comments on here, which we are actually getting to. If I search for that in Google, what do we find? Gaga. Oh, I've missed out a name there. Put a G in the front of it. Gaga. And then we can see who's reading the roost here. So I've just put Gaga and BG Wealth Sharing into the search results. And I think that's actually her website, High Achievement Business Coach, that will teach you how to lose all your money really quick. And then we've got BG Wealth. We've got BG Wealth YouTube channel, don't know. A lot of talk going on Reddit at the moment. And then we've got BehindMLM. So her name is basically mud for the rest of her life. You can even see BG Wealth Sharing Zoom exposed because she's in our name and shame list. So I'm going to click on that and show you that in a second. But obviously when you click on that, you'll find that we've done a deep dive on her. That was me dressed up as a security guy. And while she was, we can't withdraw. We want answers. Where's our money? I have a lot of fun doing these thumbnails. I'm really enjoying it. But we've done a whole blog about her, and that's the reward we get for doing the energy. Then originally when we started busting BG Wealth Sharing, when everyone was calling us idiots, we did a what we call a name and shame list. So potential investors or victims, and we went into the Zoom meetings and we just grabbed everybody's name that we saw in these Zoom meetings who we believe could be grooming themselves into becoming a promoter. So if your name's in there, unfortunately, when you search for BG Wealth Sharing in your name, you're going to come up. And then we started labeling all the big promoters that we saw. So it's quite a powerful database. I mean, I'm just going to pick any old, actually, I'll grab this one here because this will really drive it home. But let's say your name is this. I'm not even going to pronounce it. You can see that when you search for your name, you find your Facebook page, and here you are. And look, first major conference in BG Wealth 2006 here. And then right below, we've got your name, exposed scam, that goes off to our article. So this is how we find people. So now this person, I'm not logged in, I'm not going to log in, but this person will be searching for their name one day, and they'll keep realizing that when they search for their name, they keep coming to Danny DeHick's website, and that name and shame list is a great capsule for people. They write to me and they go, I want my name removed. And I go, I'm not going to. They go, if you don't remember my name, I'm gonna do. Well, I go, well, do it. I'm ready, man. Because that's we're not removing your name unless you can prove that you didn't promote this to some other people or you're a true victim. If you were just so happened to be in a Zoom meeting where they were promoting BG Wealth Sharing, we want to know who your upline was, the person that introduced you to it, their phone number, and any other details that you may be able to help us. We want to know how much money you deposited into BG Wealth Sharing, how you paid the money, were you gifted an account, did you pay cash, did somebody else handle your money? We want to know all those questions. And if you give us those questions and those answers, we'll use those to help trace and track and tie this scam to all the thingies that we do with the data, and then we'll remove your name if we feel that you were an innocent victim. But in the meantime, are you part of the problem? Or are you really a victim? Or are you a survivor? Because what these videos that we're doing about right now are all about is actually helping you become savvy enough to actually realize that these people who get on these Zoom meetings and push this down your throat, like our friend Brian here, don't really care about you. But Brian obviously hasn't stopped doing what he does. So we want to, so first of all, if you look at Brian, we've got his website here, and it's called extradigitalmovement.com. And here he is claiming that he paid for his first car with cash, which I think I don't even know what that is. I don't know what that is. I might even say here, I don't know. But anyway, he's so successful. And the guy that we're about to look at is a real guy because he's quite short, isn't he? I didn't know he's that short. Not there's anything to get over that where he's really tall, but that guy's really short. If he's 6 foot, he's 5'2", isn't he? No, that's important. Anyway, just wanted to do that. What's up? Nice to see people here. Oh my God, this wonder child has PowerPoint side click desk attached to the. I think I know who you're talking about there, Susie. I'll put that up so other people can understand what you're doing. But the guy that does one of the videos that I watched today uses PowerPoint to go through and do his videos like cue cards, which is quite funny. I think that's who you're talking about. Oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Yeah, you can identify people. We're awesome investigators. But anyway, so this guy has met this guy who runs the next scam. So I don't really know what to do here. We've got BehindMLM. That should be your first point of call when trying to figure out whether something's a scam. We've got numerous other scams that these promoters have promoted, which are exactly the same. Everything that we see has got the same sort of template. It doesn't matter. Everything seems to go back to people who live in China. It seems to have Chinese text in the code. All this sort of stuff. Oz is brilliant at putting out. I don't even know who this one is. Trading signals, click a button scams. That you're going to get a wave of these, trading. This is the batshit crazy thing about it, and I don't know how to explain it to you guys. But every time we saw NFTs, we saw buy a credit card scams, and they're all the same. So if you want to become a credit card company, you pay $30,000 and you can get a white labeled credit card. And then it is often backed by a merchant like Visa or MasterCard. And then I can go out there and say, Danny's got the Avengers credit card. And the benefits of this credit card is just out of this world. And you can basically put crypto on, you can keep this, it's a debit card, but you can put crypto onto this debit card and go and use this credit card everywhere. And everyone gets really excited about that because it's got their name on it, and and they look like they produced their own credit card. But the reality is it's just a white labeled credit card. But the point of it, you can actually buy this credit card for $250 a year or $750 a year or $1,000 a year. And the person that encourages you to sign up for this wonderful credit card will get a massive commission when you fork over that money. So unfortunately, a lot of these credit card schemes that we see are just a way for somebody who promotes multi-level marketing to get another commission for getting you to buy the credit card. And their thing is, you don't know the credit card's real. I use it every day. And we go, we get that. We get that. We get that the card's real. But the price of the card isn't real. It's unreal. And then we see the people going into, like just recently we saw like VideoLook a few years ago where you were looking at commercials and you would rate them. And now we've just been busting another scam in New Zealand called SCF Vibe Rating. And you would pay $1,200 US. And then all you had to do every day was rate 5 10-second commercials. And for doing that, you would get $40 US. If you upgraded your account, you would get more, and you'd get more ratings to do. Now, the ratings were done by movies, companies like you may have heard, Universal Studios, Coca-Cola, who else was it? Walt Disney, Sony. And these companies have all got together and said, we have a problem. We have no one to rate our videos. And people were thinking this is a legitimate business. So now we'll see that big scam get a big traction, and then we'll see all the little scams offering something similar underneath. So now what we're seeing are all these clicker scams, which I think Oz has actually labeled them really well. He's called them click a button Ponzi. And they're basically, because you are doing something, you're cut and pasting text from one area to another, you think you're actually doing something for your money. And you've been told in your subliminal mind that this is trading. This is not how trading works. I'm not a crypto genius. I don't do trading much myself. I don't do any trading. I have bought crypto and I've actually 10x'd it once. I bought Shimu Inu, and it actually helped pay for the rent, paid for the deposit for the house that we were moving into at the time. But it wasn't big money. It was a few $100s. I think I got carried away. I think I put $400, maybe $600 in it, and it got up to $2,200. And then I withdrew it all through easycrypto.co.nz, which is a New Zealand company that helps turn your crypto back to fiat currency, because that was my main problem. But I think the honest truth that a lot of people oh, I see what you're saying. So that's good, Susie. Yeah, so just a lot of these scams coming around are just regurgitated from successes. So you're going to see a lot of similar scams from BG Wealth Sharing. So we've already got Swiftwave Capital, and we've also got Nexo, which were offering basically identical stuff. So without going on and on and on about Brian, we might look at some of Brian's stuff first, but I actually want to go through this blog here. So what really alarmed me about Polar Tensor is when you go... Did I shut it down? I did. I'm starting to waffle a wee bit, getting a bit carried away. But if we go back to Oz, so I go to Oz and I hear there's a new scam. So I literally search there, and then I find, hello, there it is there. And I find that he reported it back in March the 20th, 2026. And I'm just, when I'm building my content and my blogs, I look through here and see what Oz has said about it. So for a start, we found a couple of domain names. Great. And he also tells us the date. So April the 28th, 2025, the first domain name was registered. So that's when the birth of the scam started. And then you come through here and you look at this AI character they actually had was all done with AI. And we can actually have a look at him on screen, and it looks very similar to Stephen Beard from BG Wealth Sharing. It looks like he's AI. And if you look at his chin, we'll zoom that up a wee bit, but his chin's white and he's got this funny shadow around here like he doesn't know how to shave. And this is just disgusting, whatever. And then I come down here, and then we got another photo of him, which we'll have to highlight now. And I don't know what Oz is actually saying here. It appears a struggle to rendering the impossible face on other side of brick mouth as his neck. So, right. So you can actually see in the glasses here, it's got like, it doesn't add up. His head is moving. It's got his ears too low. I don't know. But anyway, I think he's looking at the neck behind the neck. So what they do, yes, they are real people. They have a thing they put over their face, and then they can basically put anyone's face over top of them. That's what I believe the AI characters are. But when I saw this guy is a washed-up scammer, and I've done Bob Bearden is actually a washed-up rock star, and he promotes every Tom, Dick, and Harry thing that we've got. So we've got a database on him, and he's promoted other ones too, like the Fund Saver Network and Novatech. So when I saw his face attached to it, I thought, oh my goodness, really? So the Fund Saver Network. So unfortunately, Earl, Batman, Stinger, we've seen that he's been now promoting Fund Saver Network. So here's Oz, which I really respect what he says, and the research that he knows and what's in his head. I bet he's not even put all on paper, so to speak. But here he is going through Polar Tensor, and there he's picked out the serial Ponzi scheme promoter and gone back as far as Novatech and Hyperverse, and Novatech turned up after Hyperverse, and it was ran by two ministers. And the fact that he promoted that and still carries on to promote stuff is just disgusting. And there's new venture is the Fund Saver Network, which basically is an AliExpress shop where they're claiming they've bought container loads of stuff where you can get cheap products, but you just need to sign up for a monthly fee of some sort or some subscription and you get the benefits from it. And if you refer somebody, you get a commission along the way. And all these systems aren't about what they're selling or what the services they're providing. It's all about finding some idiot to sign up on the platform and paying some money where you get a commission. And they think this is a real business. But, you know, if you look at the, look at the data, you can see it's a load of rubbish. So that's enough of Oz. And that's probably enough of me. And I'm just going to shut down some of these wonderful opportunities of a lifetime. Now, somebody in the chat room did ask me what I use to broadcast. I actually have a blog. I use Occam. I used to use Restream, but it was too awkward for doing what I do. But Occam is the best software I use. And you can download Occam there. And if you do sign up, I think I do get a commission for doing so. And it's the best software I use. It allows me to stream on 6 different platforms at the same time. And it also allows me to, have layovers. Like if you have a look at this, I can turn these buttons off and on in real time. And if somebody donated a coffee to me about now, you would see their name come up on the screen and it would be all automated, which is pretty cool. And also I now use a network cable, which allows me to talk straight to the internet rather than using Wi-Fi, and I can stream 1080. I think I stream it, which is quite cool. So yeah, just in case you want to know that, you can go there. I've already chucked the link in there, but you asked and I thought I'd share that with you why that screen was open. Now, what else have we got here? So we're looking at this guy. He's a bit of a shorty, isn't he? I can't get over that. I think that's quite funny. And here he is here because, that's right. When I talked to him, he talked to me and he told me that he's spoken on the stages. And I said, what's the biggest audience that you've spoken to? And he said, 20,000 people. And I said, wow, what was that like? So I couldn't find any evidence of that, but I took him on his word. But this is evidence of him.
Brian Bean is life-changing.
Mentor to Millions is
informative.
Mentor to Millions is
Dynamic.
Brian Bean is amazing.
systematic.
Brian Bean is gifted.
Brian Bean's style is different because he will do anything to get people to listen. That includes dressing up, being crazy. He can come in a suit and pull off the professionalism as well.
I am on stage, the same stage that John Calipari was standing on yesterday.
Wow, that's pretty cool. I just don't like that music. And if they cut the music out, you won't hear any of this. So he's the man.
History.
He's more than a mentor to millions. He's like a mentor to generation.
John.
There you go. He's looking a bit taller here.
As of today, my name is officially John Bean.
Oh, I wonder what his name was beforehand. So, run around, clapping hands, quite interesting.
Mentor to vision.
I'm so excited and fired up listening to Brian. And when I was in the hotel the other day and I'm doing training, what Brian is doing, we're doing a similar thing and on different areas.
To be successful, you got to be enthusiastic. Right. You got to stay focused, you got to pay attention, and you got to be enthusiastic. And you got to get excited. What is the rule of thumb for negativity to set in?
Negativity is when you ask questions, is it a scam? You're not allowed to ask that question because that's being negative.
Brian Bean stands out from everyone I've seen. A couple of reasons. Number one, the enthusiasm, the energy. But he has a way of taking principles that are profound and putting them into packages where people can see them and feel them and understand them and most of all apply them to their lives.
I'm going to split the room in half. You guys.
I used to own a business networking company and I used to have a lot of business coaches come to my meetings. I didn't really like them because all of them were struggling financially and they never really made much money out of what they're doing because they were trying to do something they were passionate about. And unfortunately, things that you do that you're passionate about doesn't always turn into money. But I did find there was a pattern. None of them were successful business people. They never knew how to market themselves successful. But this guy, if you didn't know after watching him trying to encourage you to invest in a Ponzi scheme where there's an AI character called Stephen Bean, you would actually think this guy is relatively successful. And you sort of wonder why they throw their careers away. Or they lost focus. And these videos look like they're back in the 1990s. But you do wonder why someone like Brian is now stuck behind a Zoom meeting. Maybe like me, I lost my business when COVID happened. I get it. And you're struggling to find something to do online so you can work from home. But from, I would actually say from hero to zero in a way. I mean,
An organization called A Mentor to Millions. We're glad to have him in the studio. Brian, I know you got to catch a plane. How are you today? Thank you for coming.
Never better. Thanks for having me.
This tech is going to
right, so I think it's such a shame that all of a sudden we're finding that this guy has decided that he's going to promote opportunities like we're about to look at. And if you are watching this, Brian, then you know we're live and you're more than welcome to come and talk to us now.
Like you're sitting in his living room and he's talking to you personally.
Brian Bean's training this weekend was off the hook.
Well, he's obviously got a good sense of humor on him. Looks like he's having a baby there.
That he's given me in the last couple of nights absolutely changed.
So why would you throw your reputation away into promoting something like this? I mean, really. Anyway, let's get into it. I'm going to go through it in a hurry. I'm going to read some of it, but I don't want to be here all day. We're going to have a look at this. How to leave BG and DSJ and still make money with Polar. Yeah, okay. So let's have a look. That one sentence tells you almost everything you need to know about why I started looking at Polar. Is it Tensor? Have I got that right? This investigation began with an anonymous tip. Wasn't annoying, but it was quickly turned into something much bigger. People who had already been caught up with BG Wealth Sharing and the DS Exchange are now being pointed towards another AI trading platform, this time called Polar Tensor. Tensor. Same purpose, same promise of easy, same crypto deposits, same dashboard conference game. Was it conference game? Oh, look, we're just going to read this until I get this right.
Same dashboard confidence game. Same MLM style recruitment engine hiding behind technical language.
Yeah, so you can look at the photo there and you can see this guy. This is me just taking a screenshot while I was watching him on a video. Isn't this AI character? Why have we got AI character? And then when we got him here, this guy here is a real person. Now, it doesn't mean that this... So if you looked at the hairline and you looked at the glasses that he's wearing here versus here, I mean, it's pretty much the same. But why would they use an AI character like this? Now, I haven't actually got the video I used in here, but you can search around. If you go and search for his name, which is somewhere around here, you'll see videos of him talking to people, and it just looks absolutely bad. I don't even know if I can find... if I find his name again, I'll go there and I'll find it. People who... yeah, we've got that. Technical Landers. The purpose of this blog is simple: to name and shame the people who were involved in BG Wealth Sharing to now participate, and are now promoting. So the same people that invited you to get involved in BG Wealth Sharing are now promoting Polar Tensor. When one scheme collapses, the victims should be told to stop, gather evidence, preserve wallet addresses, report the promoters, and protect whatever money they have left in it. Whatever money they have left. Oh my God, that's not really me. They should not be encouraged to get back on the horse and spend more crypto into another platform being marketed with weekly returns, compounding interest fantasies, referral commissions, and rank bonuses. So tip of the hat to Oz. Every time we go to the internet and grab Oz's hard-earned content, I always say give him a tip of the hat. Now, he does the same to me when he uses my content, which does happen. So tip of the hat to Oz for those reviews on Polar Tensor. Documented some of the major red flags around the company, including the lack of transparent ownership, the questionable founder story around Flex Brick. So now we've found his name. Thank you. I'm going to have a look and see if we can actually go to YouTube. I've got a broken finger at the moment. I'm glad it's only the pinky, but it does actually hurt a wee bit today. And I wanted to show you. So they've got a real video here of the real guy that we've seen, and we've got our friend here doing interviews on them. We've got my video because we're live. This is the one here. So this is the guy that we actually had already seen. But look at this here.
Kryptos, den Altcoins.
Okay, alles klar.
Ethereum, Ripple, Solana, Cardano und Ethereum.
Ja, genau.
Das sind die 5 mit der größten Marktkapitalisierung. Und ja, wir brauchen auch die Liquidität, um es sehr schnell zu verkaufen. Wir kaufen es normalerweise und verkaufen es innerhalb von 0,5 Sekunden. Also alles, der ganze Auftrag wird innerhalb einer Sekunde ausgeführt.
Sowohl öffnen als auch schließen. Öffnen und schließen.
Öffnen und schließen. So. Und das ist das, was Sie richtig gesagt haben. Eigentlich ist es eine Art Mikrotrading. Wir haben oft nur 1 oder 2% für jeden Auftrag.
Okay, you got confidence in that route? So what we're going to do is we're going to hit the back button on this. And now we're going to go to the actual interview. I'm going to open this up and we're going to do, I don't know if we can do side by side on this, but I'll try to.
Okay, alles klar.
Oh, we
Hey
can't.
there, tribe. Welcome to this beautiful scenery here in Las Vegas, Nevada, where we're having the very first Polar Tensor live get-together, and I have the
Okay, let's
Polar
go.
Star.
Genau, the polar star, the brightest star
Yeah.
on the planet, I think, in the Western Hemisphere, what we always see in the north.
Yeah.
Genau, this is a word where I then make this creation around. And Tensor, I think, as far as I know it correctly, is a multi-dimensional containment inside the AI system.
Okay, okay. I know it's a very technical term, tensor, there. Yeah. I tried looking it up. That's why I wanted to ask if.
Okay, so you got this interview versus this interview. Why?
Kapitalisierung. Und ja, wir brauchen auch die Liquidität, um es sehr schnell zu verkaufen.
So why would they have somebody with such high-tech stuff have such a bad picture of himself if that is himself? This to me looks like it's all generative AI. It's either that he's worried about his pimples or something, he's smoothed out his skin. I don't know. I know it's just absolutely batshit crazy. So if I went through here and potentially looked for another interview with him.
That will help.
Oh, what am I doing here?
Help everybody.
Here we go. Here's another one.
Later we go and buy 8 hold picks.
Normally they get near the end, they decide to put
Then we have, of course, a small ranking system where we generate a membership volume of 8 million. What is a very tough program, but SEC in America. Then we have a third company. It is registered in the USA, in America. This is our.
So I go through these videos and I've seen enough normally. Then I put together my blog and I think that would be enough. So here we are. We've got Flex Brick. Is it Brick or Brick?
Felix Bick.
Felix Bick. I'm going to call him Felix. The shell company, style, registrations, the MLM compensation structure, and the involvement of Bob Bearden. BehindMLM also reported Bearden hosted a Polar founder call on the 17th of February 2026 and connected him to previous schemes like Novatech FX. I don't even know that one. DeFi Synergy and the Fund Saver Network. Now we've done blogs and all this. Now, unfortunately, Batman Earl, I've gate crashed these guys' Fund Saver networks in the past. And look at the difference in AI now. You can see that even my image is much better than it was. But what a crack up when I did that. I've actually done it quite a few times. And it's all selling cheap tools from AliExpress. And I just...
Sounds good. I've been in it for like 3 or 4 months, but really haven't paid too much attention.
Close to being even now. There was some lawsuits.
So,
No period between Bob and
no.
We caused major disruption. Well, I caused major disruption, and I don't know if I can bring it up in a hurry, but I won't bore you to death with it. But we've already had a fund. If you go and research the Fund Saver Network. Okay, so look at this, guys. So this is AliExpress, okay? And here's these same vacuum cleaners for $2.
All kinds of.
So here he was telling us that they bought a container load of these vacuum cleaners, and that's why they can sell them so cheap. And you just need to sign up for a membership, and you have access to these cheap vacuum cleaners that are the cheapest vacuum cleaners in the whole world. But when you go to AliExpress, you find the exactly same images and everything. So the whole lot's a sham, and it's about the monthly fee that people sign up on. So we went through the whole lot, and we broke down all that. So anytime we see Rob Bearden promote another scam, it's just a joke. What I am adding here is that BG Wealth Sharing connection. What I'm adding here is the BG Wealth Sharing connection, because that is where this becomes especially predatory. Yes, Polar Tensor is not just marketing a vacuum. Vacuum? Is that right? Vacuum?
Vacuum.
I like the way they did that. Thank you very much. A vacuum, sorry. It's been presented to people who have already been through the BG Wealth Sharing collapse. People who are confused, angry, embarrassed, and desperate to believe there's still a way to recover. And this is the problem. That is exactly when the professional promoters appear with the next solution. Here you are, you've lost your money, you're at the bottom of the cliff, and there's somebody walking around the bottom of the cliff with a clipboard telling you, can I have your name, serial number, your ID, and your passport, your social security number, and your home address, and your birth date, and your pet's name, so that I can help you out of this disaster. And then they say, rightio, come over to the ambulance, and the ambulance is all dressed up like Polar Tensor. And they tell you, you jump in here, we're going to fix you up. Don't listen to these medics who are not qualified because they shouldn't have promoted you into the first opportunity. And don't let them away with it. The anonymous tip that opened the door. This investigation started with an anonymous email warning that Polar was being pushed towards people connected to BG Wealth Sharing. That immediately raised red flags because BG Wealth Sharing and DS Exchange are already surrounded by the usual collapse symptoms. Withdrawal problems, rumours about hacks, confusing tax demands, misleading leadership narratives, BonChat chaos, and the people trying to work out whether their money was ever really trading in the first place. I've watched this pattern play out too many times. The Ponzi scheme opportunities collapse, the platform may die, but the promoters' pipelines often survives. The same people who built the belief one scheme suddenly starts built belief in one scheme suddenly starts talking about a new platform, a better system, a safer structure, or a more transparent opportunity. They do not recall they do not call it recycling victims. They call it leadership, pivoting, diversification, or finding a soft landing. And that's exactly what he did. This is a soft landing. The way they tell you this, they're trying to control what you do next, and they're not taking any accountability what they did last. That's why I started looking at Polar Tensor through a very specific lens. I was not only asking whether Polar Tensor looked legitimate on its I was not only asking whether Polar Tensor looked legitimate on its own website, I was asking who was promoting it, who are they promoting it to, and whether BG Wealth Sharing victims are being moved from one AI trading story into another. That distinction matters. I'm not claiming at this stage Polar Tensor has proven the same to be the same company or the same direct network as BG Wealth Sharing. That would require evidence such as shared wallets, shared operators, shared infrastructure, shared administrators, or direct internal links. What I am saying is the behavioral link is now obvious. BG collapse, people panic, Polar Tensor is presented to promoters as the next place to make money. So this is why when we ask people to help provide us evidence, they tell me I got scammed, I lost $4,000. Well, that's not very good, and that's very sad to hear. But the reality, I don't care. Yeah, I do care, but I don't care in the way you think. What I do care about is I want to know how you paid for it, who you sent the money to, who you referred you into it, who was your immediate upline, not who your friend that you're trying to protect was. I want to know everything, not just so I can get your friend in trouble or put your friend in our database that we have. We want to find out the mapping of it. We want to find out who this new opportunity is really connected to. We want to find whether it's connected on the blockchain. The blockchain is an amazing thing. We can see things. Well, I can't. Crypto G can and the Avengers can. They can link things to other scams. As soon as we see the connection, that helps us shut it down a lot quicker. The PDF presentation exposes the multi-level marketing machine behind it. As I often say, it doesn't matter whether you're selling toothpicks or you're selling airplanes or skyscrapers. It is all about the compensation that they offer, because that's the only thing they're interested in, and it's all about recruitment. The most important document in this investigation is the Polar Tensor presentation PDF. This is the cornerstone because it strips away the polished language and shows the actual money machine underneath. Polar Tensor is not simply an app, a trading dashboard, or a piece of AI software. Its own presentation shows multi-level marketing compensation plan wrapped around AI crypto trading narrative. So have a look at that there. You can click on that if you're on the blog, And this will take you into the beautiful presentation that you're going to see promoted on Zoom meetings around the world. If you are on my website and you click on Contact Us, you'll go down to Zoom Patrol. And in Zoom Patrol, you will see me in a fury, in a room with a whole lot of screens as I gate crash into Zoom meetings. How do you think I do that? Well, down the bottom here, you can actually have a look, and you look at the acceptable user guidelines of Zoom. And would you believe it tells you that you're not allowed to use Zoom to do multi-level marketing. In fact, it likens anyone that uses Zoom. You're not allowed to use Zoom, just so you know, for doing counterfeit goods and services, drug-controlled substances, human smuggling or trafficking, products made from endangered species, sexual services, gambling, betting or wagering activities, and, in the same category, unauthorized multi-level marketing businesses or stolen goods. So if you are using Zoom to do that, you're not actually allowed to do it. So we've set up a page on our website where you can actually download these Zoom meetings, which I need to update, or you can provide us the host name, the meeting ID, the passcode, which is very helpful, or the link, and you can put a comment, tell us who's running the meeting. So dob these guys in, and right as we speak right now, we actually have Brian's Zoom meetings open. So if you are watching this, Brian, and you want to have another chin wag, you just need to go into your own Zoom meeting. Now, Brian had to shut down this meeting. Actually, that comes to mind. And we actually got given his new active Zoom meeting link because we caused so much havoc. And he's now got this other Zoom meeting called. So I go in here, and now we've got the new Polar Zoom because we caused so much havoc. He had to shut down his Zoom meeting and open up a new one so that we couldn't cause havoc. But now we've got both of them. So we're sitting here waiting for Brian to go live, and then we're going to shut you down. Now, what we are looking for is people to help us police these Zoom meetings. We're looking for people to give us these Zoom links so we know when they're happening. Because if you see anyone promoting multi-level marketing, it's not allowed. And Zoom don't care anymore. You can report to your heart's content. And at the end of the day, what they're going to do, like they've done to me, is they actually ban me from using Zoom. But you don't need to worry about that because you don't need to have Zoom installed in your computer to access the Zoom meetings. No, you can just install them on a web browser. And then when you get kicked out of the meetings, you empty your cache and you log straight back in again. Don't tell Zoom. Right, so what we're getting at here, guys, the Polar Zoom meeting, this risk disclaimer always makes me laugh. Any financial, have you ever signed up for a loan for a house? Did you ever get it in about 300 words? No, but here it is, all in one. The risk disclaimer, read that, basically saying they're not going to be responsible for anything if it goes wrong. About the company, wow, that's really important. They've even got registration numbers here. Now, SEC, they're doing the same thing that BG Wealth Sharing did. They have probably applied for an exemption. And that means that when you go to SEC, for people who don't know how to read the SEC stuff, it doesn't mean they're approved by SEC. It simply means that they've managed to file something with SEC, maybe an exemption, and it makes it look like they have got something to do with SEC. Same tactics as BG Wealth Sharing. Every scam learns from the other scam. Oh, brilliant. Thanks, Suze. Oh, what's that one there? What was that other one? Anyway, so we've got this number. So here they are trying to give you credibility by filing company registrations around the world. Now, I've done this here in New Zealand. I found a company that was called prime10.co. Now, if I was to bring up their website, I wouldn't be able to view it in New Zealand. But however, that company is a scam, and they claim that they're a New Zealand company and they've registered themselves with the New Zealand company office. So I looked up the company office and I see that they had 1 Victoria Street as their address. Now, when you go to 1 Victoria Street here in New Zealand, it's a 12-story building. They failed to put what floor they're on. Next thing, I look at the company owner. He doesn't even exist. No digital. Oh, we're going to take this. This is Gaga. Hello, Danny speaking. Oh, g'day. Oh, no, I thought it was Gaga calling me.
I am India sir मैं कह रहा हूँ बीजी वेल्थ में या फंड है ट्रांसफर इज लोग
Oh, look, we can't do phone calls right now. I'm actually live on the internet, mate.
Sir बीजी वेल्थ शेयरिंग इज रनिंग या स्टॉप है
I can't understand you, sorry, but I'm live on the internet. So you might want to, you post a message.
Deposit news
All right, mate. So somebody has actually been ringing me. He's probably going to ring me again. But we've got a group set up where we can actually get information about Gaga. to us, and somebody's decided to ring the group, and they've just rung me, and I thought it was Gaga. Got excited because the name popped up. Anyway, what I'm getting at, anyone can register a company. I've seen it here in New Zealand. I went to the company office and I said, "What the hell are you doing? This company that you've let register in New Zealand doesn't even have a proper address." They said, "We're going to send them a letter." And I said, "Where are you going to post it?" They had no idea. And I said, "Look at the name. It looked like a 2-year-old wrote it. And there's no digital footprint." So what I'm getting at, anybody can set up a company. Next thing, this fake CEO, this is definitely done with AI because it doesn't even look like him. We've seen the fake hired actor CEO. It looks nothing like him. So they're using AI images just to create a PDF. But even though they have got a real CEO, he doesn't even have a digital footprint, this guy. I looked him up, couldn't find him anywhere. Somebody with his accolades would have a bigger digital footprint than he does, which he doesn't have. Okay, learning models, it's telling you stuff that you won't understand. Hedge funds, it's mentioning traders. I'm just looking for keywords here. Look, I'm just, for shits and giggles, if I read this, and if you think this sounds like it makes sense to you, put your hand up, because I don't think it makes sense to you.
Hedge funds and traders have been using neural networks for more than a decade to assist with trading decisions and detect patterns beyond human capabilities. Deep learning utilizes multi-layered neural networks to process data, learning from past trends to predict future market movements. The goal of an AI model is to have as many parameters as possible and be as well trained as necessary to make more accurate decisions. Numerous AI models are active in both traditional financial markets and the crypto market, all with the objective of generating profits for their creators and increasing market efficiency.
Yeah. Now, did that make sense to you? Did that fly off the tongue? Did it make you feel good when you listen to that? Now, I'm not sure about I'm not sure about that PDF because I've already got one. Is my one better or is your one better? Just doing some housework here while we're in here. But basically what I'm trying to say here, guys, is deep learning models, resolution, I can't even say that word. Let's go.
Revolutionizing
markets. All this here is just jargon to confuse your brain. Polar 1, next generation, blah, blah, blah. Graphs, everyone wants to see a graph going up and down and, all this sort of carry on. Low latency trading based on market data, historical returns. That looks good. So it goes back to 2024. So he's basically saying that he's been here for 2 years. Average is 22%. I presume that's per year. So that's a load of bullshit, poos and wees. Compounding returns. So where does the compounding money come from? Compounding returns. You're trading. You don't get compounding returns. So is that saying that if you leave your money there, it's going to grow all by itself? What is it, a tree? Okay, breakdown. Oh, yeah, that looks too technical for me. Right, so now the truth of it. You can start from $100 a month, boom, or $500 a month. There's a massive distinction between $100 and $500, $2,000, $8,000, $25,000. Now, remember the guy we listened to? He said he deposited $27,000. So how did he do that? So did he come along and buy a $27,000 package? I can't see it there. Ridiculous. License rewards, level 1, 2, and 3. Now we're getting into the multi-level. License affinity rewards, bronze, silver, gold, platinum, titanium, sapphire, ruby, emerald, diamond. Oh, it sounds good. 2% generational overhead for the same rank. And this looks a bit like a pyramid to me on the right-hand side of my head in the way. So all this here, rewards, rigid rewards, can't even say the word properly, lost me already, mate. Okay. Has it got 2 lots of affinity rewards? What did I accidentally scroll down? I think I accidentally scrolled down. We did. Oh, here we go. Global leadership pools. This sounds less and less like trading and more like multi-level marketing and recruitment to me. Qualified members may qualify for all pools. Pools rewards are distributed equally amongst all qualified members of each rank. Boy, it sounds like you're joining the Gestapo more than anything. And here we go. The truth of it. You can now start from $20. I know. Iron, bronze, silver, gold, platinum, tile. Give us the same shit, different day. Platforms. Access our platform through the web by downloading. Now, they won't be in the Google Play Store. Well, they might be in the Google Play Store. I'll correct myself. But they won't be in the Apple App Store. Well, they might be. I don't know. And because they are or aren't doesn't mean shit these days. We've now found 7 apps actually in the Apple App Store that shouldn't be on there. But these guys literally register a completely new company, create a new website and submit their apps through these companies that aren't even legitimate or real so they can get their app on the App Store. Some of these companies will give you a link where you download a config file to your phone, and your phone will come up with a warning saying, do not install this because it could be anything. They make these claims. So when I was on the website, I'm pretty sure, I can't remember, but let's have a wee look. Let's see if I can get on this website. All right, so I'm going to have a look at this. So this is the actual website, and I don't need to look here because I'm so clever. And I'm going to look at the Apple App Store, and oh my God, they have actually got it on the Apple App Store. So that means it's true and genuine, and that disgusts me because this is not a true and genuine company, in my opinion. But I'm not, that's just my opinion. But I'm probably going to get a cease and desist letter from some major company. Oh my God. But don't believe it just because it's on the App Store, because that is absolutely amazing. But what I will do while I'm here is we'll have a look at the developer website. And it goes back to the main website. Oh my goodness. Well, give me some comments where I'm going wrong with this opportunity here, because the fact that they've actually got themselves on the Apple App Store blows my brain. I'm disappointed with Apple that they haven't done due diligence on this, because I'm pretty sure that if you go through the terms, I've had an app in the App Store, so I should know, but I'm pretty sure Apple doesn't allow multi-level marketing apps on the App Store. And if that's the case, then many hands make light work. And all what you need to do is submit a complaint, if you can find out how, to Apple, and attach the PDF showing Apple that this is actually not a proper exchange. This is a multi-level marketing company who are claiming that they are an exchange. Blows my brain. Anyway, Susie did give me another presentation, which I'll ping up on the screen here if I can. I will bring that up, hopefully. I just wanted to make sure. Oh, I think I know what you've done here, Suze. You've given me the PowerPoint presentation, and he's left his company name in it. Is that what you're saying? All right, I'm just going to, one second, please, call it. I don't know what I'm looking at here. Exit, close, exit, close, exit, close. I want to exit, close. That works. All right, so we're going to put this over here. I don't know what I'm looking at, but this looks like, if I'm right, it could be another PDF. How do I get rid of that? So this was another presentation, and we might as well black through it. Voluntary security. I don't know what I'm looking at here. Introduction, solar tension. Mr. Brick. Polar Corporation. Major crypto market leader. Global customer research. Multi-products, one network. Polar Tensor. Oh, yes. And there is, that's one thing I did actually go through with my excuses here. So one thing I did go through, I'm talking a bit fast, but they did have like Polar Money, Polar Finance, Polar, a whole lot of other Polar industries connected to this company. The global brand, in my opinion, fake everything. So they've got professional liability, cybersecurity, operational risks, third party. Now, I can just about guarantee insurance protection. Oh my goodness, that's a big tall claim. Meet one Polar. So this is probably the bigger scheme, the bigger picture, the presentation. Monthly returns, 21.4. Depositing and withdrawing, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Polar Money, looks like they're going to produce a credit card. Oh, yes, it's going to have a Polar. It's going to change the planet. And there's a big fat deposit. Announcements. Polar Exchange is born. And Hong Kong office opening 18th of August in Hong Kong. Introducing our market plan. License reward 20%, 15%, 10%. Affinity rewards. Everything there you'd expect to see. And thank you. See you on the other side. See you at the top of the cliff, or should we see you at the bottom? User ranks, 5 warriors, 1 rank, 5 bonuses, 1 silver rank. Oh my God. It's just, it's just how much of this do you actually need in your life? I mean, if you promote this, you're going to climb up the ranks. This is Amway on steroids, everyone. Oh, here we go. Present Polar Tensor. What's this here? Hop in a Zoom. Oh, I see. Have they got the Zoom address? So what we want from you guys, if you are trying to figure out whether this is real, genuine, and all that, leave it to the expert. I'll call myself an expert. Let us know what's happening. But that's basically the Polar Tensor presentation. And it's not simply an app. It's a trading dashboard, a piece of AI software. Its own presentation shows multi-level marketing, conversation plan wrapped around AI. So this doesn't matter whether it's true, genuine or not. At the end of the day, it's just multi-level marketing. Multi-level marketings will promise you the dream. They will tell you that if you promote it, it's going to be your ticket to your financial freedom, and it's going to give you the financial independence that you really want, not being enslaved to the banks, all the wonderful things that we want in the world. And it's all deregulated, decentralized stuff, I assume, and it's just going to be the best thing that you've ever joined. It's going to be like a cult. Oh. On page 11, the presentation tells users they can use Polar One and start earning right away. It says a 10% one-time license fee is deducted from your deposit amount. The performance fees is charged on profits, and the profits are distributed every Friday. That sounds instant. The same page lists tiers starting at 100% USDT up to $100,000 USD, with performance fees ranging from 50% down to 20%, which means I think you get a revenue share, entice you to buy more and get a bigger revenue share, depending on the amount added to the trading. That's not just a neutral technology product. When people are invited to deposit crypto, pay a license fee, let a system trade, and receive weekly profit distributions, they are being sold a financial opportunity. The AI language may sound modern, but the underlying pitch is always familiar. Put money in, let the system work, watch the balance grow, and recruit others to increase your rewards. The multi-level structure becomes impossible to ignore on page 12. The Polar Tensor introduces license rewards. Yes, the presentation says that if you invite somebody to join and use the services, you are rewarded from the license fee they pay. Sounds like brilliance to me. It shows level 1 at 20% and level 2 at 15%, level 3 at 10%, and then states that level 4-15 earns even more. The same presentation goes on to show license infinity rewards, residential rewards, and residential infinity rewards, global leadership pools, rank bonuses, and ranks from iron through diamond, and with bonuses reaching as high as 500,000 USDT. Oh, I'm exhausted just reading it. The red flags are not subtle. Crypto deposits into trading balances. Weekly profit distributors. That means they divvy up the money if they have enough money to pay you. Profits distributors. I can't even say it. License fees attached to deposits. Referral commissions across multiple levels. Residential rewards. Is it residential? Am I saying that right? This doesn't seem the right word. Residual rewards from team trading profits. Rank bonus based on network volume, leadership pools funded by global license sales. Boy, it's complicated already. That is why the PDF matters. The AI trading story is the bait. The compensation plan is the engine. If new deposits were and new recruits are needed to keep the excitement alive, and then ordinary people are not just...
New coffee shop sale from Justin.
Oh, thank you very much. New Ko-fi shop from Justin. Oh, thank you. You must have bought my book. Thank you very much. Well, I was going to say before I was really interrupted, but that's not really rude, is it? They become fuel for the machine. So yes, so recruitment is the machine. That's all we need. Now, the Bob Bearden, a recycled promoter, red flag. Why is it?
New donation from CH40.
Oh, thank you very much. CH40. You're a scholar and a gentleman, as they say. So when we get one of the biggest names attached, just because this guy's name's attached to it, I know it's a scam. He is important because he is not the same random person who accidentally discovered the new platform. BehindMLM reported Mr. Bearden hosted a Polar Tensor founder, I'm not saying tension right, but that's how I say it, founder call on the 17th of February 2026. And he was previously known as TSS Golden Team Leader. in the Novatech FX Ponzi scheme. Novatech FX collapsed in February 2026, and the SEC filed suit against his co-founders in August 2024, with investor losses reportedly pegged at over 640 million. It makes Christopher Delgado look small. But anyway, that was what he was associated to. According to BehindMLM, Bierman later resurfaced as partner in DeFi Synergies, which collapsed in March 2024. There's a pattern here. And then appeared with the Fund Saver Network before resurfacing again with Polar Tensor. So if Fund Saver Network is so damn good, because that's still going apparently, it's a pretty safe Ponzi scheme. Actually, it's going to take a lot for that one to fall over because there's no money in it. But if he's so hell-bent at that being the best thing since sliced bread, it's funny how these guys pivot and they go straight into Polar Tensor. I hate that name. That pattern matters because the public need to understand how these ecosystems operate. The platform may collapse, but the promoter class often moves on to the next thing, carrying their audience, their credibility if they've got any, and their victims base with them, their victim base with them. Also, adding now Sonic Global, which is a opportunity that I've just clicked off the screen, which I didn't want to do. This lady here, we actually shut down two of her domain names, and she had to open up two others. But she claimed that she was worth $400 million, this lady, and we mortified her. We literally cut her off at the knees, and she was pretty short already. But my point is that we managed to shut down her website quite dramatically and took down her domain names, and it was quite comical that it wasn't even that hard. And now I've lost my place. Come back to where you once belong. So he was associated with her as well. Oh, can't go back. Do I have to go through do this the horrible way? My computer's not working. Here it is. My website is getting a lot of traffic lately, which is really, really nice. Thank you very much. But it is actually making it a bit slow. Okay, what do we got? Gonna make the noises. Yeah, so we were up to here. So anyway, also the Onyx Reserve. Oh, I really killed it, didn't I? All right, let's do that. Onyx Reserve. Also adding Onyx Global into the wider Bearden red flag picture because the Avengers exposed Onyx Global, helped shut down its domain names. We were quite good at doing that. We were proud of that at the time, and halted the business. I'm not going to overstate what I can't prove in the blog without putting every document in front of our readers, but from our own investigation, Sonic Global belongs in this discussion because it fits the same recycled opportunity ecosystem. What I'm getting at, guys, is to go from one Ponzi scheme to the other, and it's just garbage. And it's just the same shit shoveled around in the same wheelbarrow and scooped out and given to you guys to feed on when you think there's a hope that these guys can direct you to your financial future, freedom futures, or your passive income opportunities. This is why naming promoters matters. It's not enough to expose the website. These schemes spread because people with influences host calls. Reassure victims, is that right? Reassure victims, explain deposits, normalize the losses, and make the next platform feel safe. This promoter is often the bridge. The promoter is often the bridge between victims and the scam. When someone with a history around failed crypto multi-level marketing schemes appears in Polar Tensor, that's not a footnote, it's a warning siren. You know the noise I'm trying to make. All right, so now where does Brian come into it? Now, Brian was just one of many people promoting it, but we managed to find him on the YouTube trying to say it was the best thing since sliced bread, and it sort of struck a nerve. The clearest direct link between BG Wealth Sharing's victims and Polar Tensor comes with Brian N. Beanie. Now, I'm actually really disappointed with him because he sounded like a really nice guy on the phone. I had a fantastic conversation with him, and I sort of would like you to go back and listen to that conversation that I had with him, and you'll probably feel very much the same. But the fact that he is still promoting promoting this is just absolutely shocking. So we found a Vimeo account of his, and we've also found his domain name, which I don't know whether it still works, but let's bring it up his website. We've now got brianbeanie.com, and we're waiting, and we're waiting. A little boy waits, It doesn't look like it's going to load. But anyway, we did find his Vimeo. And what have we got? We have got videos of him being normal. We've got videos of him doing his coaching. Now, I'm actually really pissed off about this because this guy is throwing his life away by promoting this crap. You know, like this guy looks like he's had a hoot of a time building himself into being a mindset business coach. And I take my hat off to people that do that. And then when I see them behind the scenes, behind a camera, preaching lies to people, it is absolutely disgusting. And it's such a shame. I just don't get it. So, Brian, if you're there, I want to speak to you. Come onto your own Zooms. We're waiting. Anyway, wealth sharing victims, Polar Tensor comes to Brian. He has a polished online presence, tens of thousands on his YouTube. I think it's 27,000 off memory. Oh, actually, we do have it. There we go. Excellent. 37,000 people have watched this guy, and he's even got whales on there, or stingrays. And he's the man about town. He's got all his websites there. He's got his flash car sitting there. And when you click on videos, you know the funny thing that you may not realize, he doesn't put his videos on his YouTube channels. He markets himself with unlisted videos. Isn't that crazy? So the video that we brought up was unlisted. So you wouldn't know this guy was promoting scams on the forefront. But when you go to these videos, they're all hidden. Isn't that crazy? If we go to his lives, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the case. 5 months ago was his last live. So he's got two personas. He's got a double life. When I was in the Jehovah's Witness thing, they used to talk about people that had double lives. They have a veneer face, and then they have the real face. And that was naughty. You'd get disfellowship for things like that. So that's a shame, Brian. Anyway, so his YouTube subscribers and markets himself through coaching, leadership, financial education, personal development, and lifestyle branding. This unlisted video, there you go. I know what I'm talking about. I'm reading my own blog, and I'm about telling you before we read it. So let's go to the unlisted video. Is it still there? It's still there.
That's just me.
That's him.
How are you going to fix the problem if you caused the problem? So I'm supposed to sit around.
So if he really believes what he's doing, then why are you putting your videos out as unlisted and using your mailing list to, it's just absolutely crazy. So I think that's disgusting, to be honest. If you don't, if you don't want to put yourself out there, you're hiding, aren't you? You're trying to fly under the radar. Now, I finished that image off, if you're wondering there, Brian, because I know you're watching this. And you notice all the coins? Well, I didn't know they were going to turn up when I asked ChatGPT to finish the bottom of the picture and turn them up, because it must have looked at you and thought you were trying to count your pennies. But I thought it was quite clever. Anyway, so we looked at the unlisted video. You can go listen to that one. If it still remains, I'll eat my hat. But because it's unlisted, he probably doesn't think anyone's watching it. That title alone is devastating. What is that title? To leave BG and DSG and still make money with Polar. That is devastating. One of the, let's get myself back in the flow. I'm going to have a wee break here and let the computer do some reading because I'm talking too much.
That title alone is devastating. It was not a general overview of Polar Tensor. It was aimed at people leaving BG and DSJ. In the transcript, Bean talks about landing from Las Vegas and hearing that BonChat was blowing up. BG had blown up. People were asking where Stephen Beard was, and rumors were spreading about hacks, taxes, kidnapping, missing leaders, and withdrawals. He then frames the issue around belief, saying that once belief leaves, people rush to withdraw and the whole system slows down.
Wow. Wow. Who do I sound like when I say that, guys? Wow. I sound like the professor from GG Gold. He always used to go, wow. It's actually sad, Brian. I actually feel for you. I feel sad that you think that promoting these opportunities is a good thing. Can we make an Avenger out of you? Can I help you build your brand into somebody that exposes scams and also mentors people into the right thinking? Can we help you? Because I don't really want to go after you because I've got better things to do. That's what everyone tells me all the time. I want to help you. Can you help us expose these scams? You know this isn't right. I mean, really, do you want to be known as the multi-level marketer or direct sales king? What do you want to stand up the stage with your wigs and your costumes and make people laugh? How many people have you actually introduced to these Ponzi schemes and scams that are laughing? How many financial disasters have you got trailing your advice? You're a man that gives advice. You're a man that people laugh at and cheer at. And all of a sudden, here you are promoting this rubbish on the internet. You can do better than this. I'll support you.
Instead of telling people to stop and preserve evidence, he presents himself as solution-oriented. He says he flew to Las Vegas, found another solution, and wanted to give people a soft landing. He tells viewers that if they are logical, they can make their money back another way, and then introduces Polar Tensor as that opportunity. That is the part I want people to sit with. People had just watched BG wealth sharing fall into chaos, and instead of being warned about the wider AI trading Ponzi playbook, they were being emotionally redirected into another scheme using the exact same desire. Compound your way back. Believe again. Stay offensive. Do not sit around waiting, and trust the next platform.
You know, like the previous guy that I talked about just briefly in his video, he said trust is a funny thing because all these platforms are all about building trust, aren't they? Building trust. What's trust got to do with the business opportunity? You know, theoretically, you know, this isn't about trust. You don't have to. It's not a cult you're joining. It's a. You give us money and we're going to give you a return. You know, it's not. You know, so you know, why do you have to believe in something? This isn't religion. This isn't a cult. You don't have to believe anything. You've got a contract theoretically. Well, I bet you haven't got a contract. You've got a place to click and sign up with a referral link.
Bean even tells the audience that Polar Tensor is the same thing that you guys are used to, referring to AI trading, but better because there is no copying and pasting.
Oh.
That sentence is crucial because it shows the psychological bridge. He is not distancing Polar Tensor from BG's failed trading fantasy. He is making it feel familiar, improved, and ready for the same audience.
Yeah, they'll quickly outline all the mistakes of BG wealth sharing, and there was a lot. But the red flags were there way from day one. And they're just telling you that now this new opportunity's got less red flags. They won't highlight the red flags. The red flags about this company is I can guarantee you that if we go and check out all the offices that they have registered with all these different company names and the SEC filings, they won't exist. It's not the real deal. They'll come out with things like, oh, we went to the offices, there was no one there. Or the offices was registered to Regis, which is a shared office space or co-working space. And everything will be like so obvious at the bottom of the cliff. But at the top of the cliff, they don't talk about it. The first thing he should be doing, rather than saying 7 days ago, I found this opportunity of a lifetime, and I'm now promoting this. I've done 7 days worth of research, and now I'm on a Zoom meeting telling you should sign up and forget about your losses for BG Wealth. It is batshit crazy. The manipulation techniques in Brian's Beanie's Polar Tension pitch. Now, we went through got the whole pitch that he's done, because I've actually got more than, I'm not going to bore you today. I'm going to actually just get rid of this this opportunity here. But we've actually got this video, and then we've got another video, and then we've got another video. And these are the graphs that you won't see, where Brian's actually taken the liberty of putting these graphs out there, where he's basically telling you that what you should make from the program. And he's there, and he's doing the hard sell. So have a quick listen.
Any range, honestly. I'll give you the tiers. Here go the tiers, but you can start anywhere in between. 100, 500, 2,000, 8,000, 25,000, 100,000. Now, let me tell you what this is first. It is AI trading, number one. It's the same trend that will be $1 trillion trend. It's the same.
So he's telling you it will be the same trend, $1 trillion trend, big numbers, big hype.
Everything. The good news over here, you don't have to copy and paste. Your money auto compounds. I'll give you guys some statistics. Just stay with me. So what happens is, if you say, all right, Brian, I still want to be a 1%er. I'm ready to rock and roll. Okay, you're going to open up your Polar account. Polar Tensor is not a new company. They're not new. This division of trading and AI is new. So I compare it to Coca-Cola being rock solid, been around for years, but they're coming out with a new Coke classic.
Yeah, like Red Bull. I mean, I'd love to, I might, if this is long enough, actually, this is only 4 minutes long. So why don't we listen to the whole lot and get this 4-minute video done,
Polar Tensor is what I went out to Las Vegas for the past 3 days and got introduced to. Polar Tensor. What I like about it, number one, you can log into the portal and experience it for free before you fund it. That's number one. Number two, there's no monthly fee attached to it. There's no monthly fee. You can log in and experience it. And the startup is as little as $100. And they got different ranges in between. So you got 100, basically any range, honestly. I'll give you the tiers. Here go the tiers, but you can start anywhere in between. 100, 500, 2,000, 8,000, 25,000, 100,000. Now, let me tell you what this is first. It is AI trading, number one. It's the same trend that will be $1 trillion trend. It's the same everything. The good news over here, you don't have to copy and paste. Your money auto compounds. I'll give you guys some statistics. Just stay with me. So what happens is, if you say, all right, Brian, I still want to be a 1%er. I'm ready to rock and roll. Okay, you're going to open up your Polar account. Polar Tensor is not a new company. They're not new. This division of trading and AI is new. So I compare it to Coca-Cola being rock solid, been around for years, but they're coming out with a new Coke Classic.
This isn't Coca-Cola.
Coke Original, a new line within this company. I like the fact that it's a grandparent company with a baby division. I like the fact that I met the CEO this weekend. Tall. Felix Bick is super tall. It's like 6'8". You'll see the picture.
Oh, that's why he looks short.
I met him this weekend, talked to him. I like the fact that he opened the books, his $100 million Binance account, and showed the actual trades coming out of the account to our account, and showed with transparency how the AI trades from the Binance account to your account in real time. That's what I like. I have vetted a few companies in the past 2 weeks. No founder was willing to do that. That was good.
What companies?
Like, okay, the actual trade from the Binance account, the actual trades from our accounts, and they matching, and a CEO that's willing to show you that in a company that's been around for a while, in a new division, that made sense to me. So if you sign up for anywhere for $100 and anywhere in between, now you can get your free account and look at everything. I want to make sure that's clear. But if you're ready to fund it, you don't have to have a whole bunch of money. You can say 350, 250, 100, minimum 100. You can say 450, but on that level, you're going to do a 50-50 split. 500, 600, 550, 540, 700, 800, 900, 1,000. You're going to get a 60-40 split. 2,000, 65, 35. 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 2,500, 2,100, 22,900, 2,116, 20,008. Y'all understand? It's ranges. It's ranges. These are not like pit stops. These are ranges. So you get a bigger split of this week's trade profits based on how much you have in your account. Everybody put this in your notes. The split is based on account size. Okay, cool. Here's $100, and you're going to do a 50-50 split. So at the end of the week, you're splitting 50 with the trader and 50% to you. Tier 2, 500, 700, 550, 518. Y'all notice I'm giving these crazy numbers? It don't matter as long as you're above 500. What is that? 60-40. Now, I know what you're going to ask me. Okay, Brian, if I start with 100, do I have to start over at 500? No. The 100 is going towards the 500. Your amount that's in your trading account, not how much you start with. Put this in your notes. What's in my account matters, not how I started. What's in my account matters, not how I started. So you guys that are doing, if you do 2,000, 2018, 2235, 3116, anywhere in between 2,000 and 8,000, you're getting 65-35 split. We trade 5 days a week. It's Monday through Friday right there, just like the stock market. And they're trading 2% of your account. These are some stats that y'all want to know. So you're not trading your whole account. So out of the 100, out of the 500, out of the 518, out of the 22.6, out of the 8,013, whatever you put in, they're trading 2% of your account.
Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That was 5 minutes of your life you'll never get back. So let's break that down a little bit. I'm glad that video's over. We do have another video, but I don't know how long that one is. It's 12 minutes long, but I think it's going to be basically more of a mechanics, how it works one. But I think you get the idea that he's all in. This is good. He's researched it for the whole 7 days. So let's have a listen.
A second video from Brian N. Bean. titled Full Polar Overview May 7, 2026, makes the sales strategy even clearer. This was not just an explanation of a platform, it was a polished opportunity presentation tied to extra-digit movement, directing people to extradigitmovement.com and telling them to contact the person who introduced them to the link.
Yeah, I was trying to find that video. I thought that'd be quite interesting. Yeah, so contact the person that introduced them to the link. So even though you want to sign up, you still needed to sign up underneath somebody else, multi-level marketing.
Bean opens by framing Polar Tensor around AI trading, interest, compound interest, freedom, travel, mobile phone income, and life without limits. He says money is not everything but is right up there with oxygen, which is classic lifestyle persuasion. The product is not only the platform, the product is the dream of never being stuck, never being limited, and never missing the next financial wave.
Yep. Then he filters the room psychologically. He tells viewers that if they are negative, critical, or skeptical, they may feel uncomfortable because the group believes in opportunity, freedom, flexibility, choice, and life without limits. That is dangerous framing because it turns skepticism, I can't even say it, into a personality flaw. It's telling you basically if you don't have the right mindset, you can't give them money and lose your money in a scam. In legitimate due diligence, skepticism is healthy. In multi-level marketing style opportunity rooms, skepticism is often treated like bad energy, and also fears of missing out very effectively. It also uses fear of missing out effectively. He talks about people missing the .com boom, missing social media, missing Bitcoin, and presents AI trading and cryptocurrency as the next perfect storm. He refers his own claimed success recruiting at 22. He talks about you recruiting at 22, owning real estate, collecting vintage cars, buying a Mustang with cryptocurrency. That's why that picture's on his website here. You can see here. So he bought this car with his own cryptocurrency, collecting vintage cars, buying a Mustang with cryptocurrency, and building a life around timing and opportunity. The message is obvious. I saw the wave. I caught the wave. And now I'm showing you the next wave. The tactics are easy to see when you slow them down. Risk is mentioned when buried under upside. Risk is mentioned, then buried under the upside. Skeptics are framed as negative. Bitcoin regrets are used to trigger fear of missing out. Lifestyle freedom is sold before the numbers. Meeting Phoenix Bricks was used as proof of legitimacy. It's not bricks, so I know I'm saying it wrong. Recruitment is reframed as sharing the love. This is not neutral education. It is persuasional, aimed at people who are already emotionally primed to believing AI trading. So if you believe it, AI trading is real because now you've been acclimatized to BG wealth sharing and you believe that cut and pasting and AI trading. I mean, we saw this back. It used to be arbitrage trading, and it was boomerang. We watched $300 million lift off the platform, be stolen from mum and dad investors through a program called a boomerang. This is not the first rodeo. So now that you've become acclimatized to the terminology AI trading, you start to think it's a real thing. Now, it is a real thing to a certain degree, but not in the way they're proclaiming it. And I'm not educated enough to tell you what degree AI trading exists. But if you can invest $100 into a platform and then get successful AI trading trades and signals, good on you. A lot of arbitrage trading bots and all that sort of carry on need large volumes of money to go from point A to point B, and they collect the surplus money between exchanges that don't happen on the millisecond. Anyway, that's my high-tech bamboo word. Don't believe what you read. Let's carry on.
The decades-old company claim needs scrutiny. One of the claims from Bean's second video that deserves serious scrutiny is the idea that Polar Tensor is not a new company and is supposedly decades old, with only the AI trading division being
Coca-Cola.
new. That kind of claim is powerful because it makes people feel safer. If a company has been around for decades, Ordinary people assume it must have history, stability, real operations, and some kind of track record.
Yeah, unfortunately, guys, if you're going to sit here and assume something, haven't done your due diligence. If you're going to sit here and think in your head that you've figured out what this is, then you haven't done it right. I mean, this isn't rocket science, but certainly if you sit here and get motivated by a motivational speaker that's thrown his career away, trying to push a scam down your throat, that's a real shame. Oop, read. Whoop, where did it go? What have I done? I hit refresh instead. Yeah, right, back
Live,
to
new.
behind MLM again.
But BehindMLM reported that Polar Tensor's main domain was privately registered on the 28th of April, 2025, while another marketing domain was privately registered on the 5th of March, 2026, and that Polar Tensor's marketing suggests the company launched in or around November, 2025. That does not sit comfortably beside the broad decades-old impression being used in the pitch.
Yeah, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to bring up, I'll show you something really interesting here. You might have not seen my database before, and I don't like bringing it up without scrutinizing it first, if you don't mind. Oh, I've got to log in, unfortunately. Let's see what page pops up. Sometimes I burn people by showing, because I have secret database. So I have a whistleblower database, I have Ponzi schemes and scam database, and I have persons of interest database. So I'm going to show you that now. So this is my database, which you can't see. For some reason, it's not working, so we just have to flip out of the screen. Oh, I see what's happened. It's been naughty. 1 minute, please, caller. There it is. Now I'll go back. So this is what my database looks like. It's not public. Right, so we're going to go into Ponzi schemes and scams, and then I come down to all the different scams and Ponzi schemes that we've done. So just so you know, the Signal Raiders, Signal Raiders, actually that's in the wrong. I like to do them in order. So that should be up there. CR Group LLC was the first BG Wealth Sharing client that we saw. This was where it started. Then it moved to Signal Raiders. Then it went to BG Wealth Sharing. Not sure which one started first, but we've got Nexo and Swift Wave Capital. And this one here, we've also seen very similar patterns. And then New Era. And now we've got this one here, which I don't believe, there's no proof that they're all connected to here. But we went into Polar, and then we found, and this is where we don't even know if these companies are legit. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to open up all these domain names. So we now have, so I asked him when we talked to Brian, what was Polar Corporation? And he was claiming that this was like Coca-Cola, and Coca-Cola's been around for years. So as far as I'm concerned, all these domain names that you see, this one here is called Polar-Tensor-marketing.com, advertised but not active. This one here is the one that we're talking about today with the AI app, which has got multi-level marketing all wrapped around it. And if I go down to, somewhere in here, you'll find all the legal disclaimers. Now, they have a bundle of legal disclaimers. Now, there could be a slight possibility that this has nothing to do with the multi-level marketing opportunity I'm showing you, and this could just be an app they're using that could even be legitimate. I don't exactly know, but I'm not saying it is legitimate. I'm just saying they're using multi-level marketing. These are the other. So here you go. So here's polar-research.com, who can't even keep their website live. How are we doing on that one? Next one, we've got Polar Corporation, which is a different domain name. So these are all domain names that we discovered were associated with a company that's been around as long as Coca-Cola, so to speak, and they won't load. And then look at this, Polar Money. Polar Money. And now this is the first time I've seen this morning. Look familiar? Now, if you're in BG Wealth Sharing, this was a daily occurrence. Suspected, what do they call it? Phishing website. So this has got malware on it. And it's telling you if you ignore and proceed. So this is Polar Money. So this is a crack up. So when we did our research on Polar, we listed all the websites we could find. They're all the same. And all of them did load at one point in one time. But what does that tell you? Isn't that crack up? Doesn't it make, so the only one that's going is this here. So this is just absolutely crazy. Please, let me know what you need about Gaga and I will send it to you. Hey, look, there's going to be a link that pops up about now in the chat room. And I really encourage anyone that's trying to find out about individuals that we're promoting BG Wealth Sharing is to join our WhatsApp group. And we have listed all the individuals that we have found that we're still researching. And we do, when you go into here, if you go to Polar scams and all that, if you go to BG Wealth Sharing and you go, well, you can't do this, but if I've got 49 people of interest that I have seen promoting BG Wealth Sharing, and we've documented each and every one of them. So we've got Brian here. I've got a card on him. We've got Lee Meadows. We've got Gaga. And we've got all these people. Now, what we do is we put all these databases together and we hand them over to the official governments. When we got contacts, we build databases on individuals and their involvement. So in our WhatsApp group, you can provide us information on any of these individuals that you can see. You can pause the screen and have a look at them all, and we monitor them, people. So give you an example. This guy here, we call him Area 51. Don't know why. He had a YouTube channel. I bet it's gone. Nope, it's still there, but he's taken down his videos. He's meant to be a mentor. He's documenting his journey. But in here, he had a video where he was making $40,000 a month from BG Wealth Sharing. But if you looked at this now, old Mark Edward Brown, who threatened legal action if I didn't take down my videos, has now removed all his BG Wealth Sharing videos, and he's back to a normal person on the internet. Crazy. That's what we do. We name and shame anyone running or promoting Ponzi schemes and scams. We collect data and we hand it over to the appropriate authorities. Help us be Avengers. Help us stop people like Brian, who's thrown his career into the ground. All right, this is one of the, I think I read that there, but basically we were talking about BehindMLM privacy register. So the domain names don't add up. Even though he's saying it's as old as Coca-Cola, unfortunately the domain name lifespan isn't long enough to merit what you just said, Brian. So you're talking through a hole in your head, or you're just repeating jargons that you've been told by the scammers. This is one of the ways people get misled. A promoter can blur the difference between a founder story, a shell company, a holding structure, and a corporate group, and the actual investment opportunities being sold today. The listener here is decades old and thinks safe, but the correct question is much narrower. How long has the actual Polar Tensor AI trading MLM opportunity been operating, and where is it in the independent proof of its claim trading performance? Has it got any audit? Has anyone done any, audit? What do they call it? Audits. I can't remember the name of it, but there is companies out there that will do audits on your crypto white papers and all that sort of. I think it's audit. I forget what it's called, but there is a company out there that will do reviews on what you're doing. So that's and then you can look at those reports and make an informed decision. So we would rather than listening to Chinese whispers, if they've done reviews or audits on the company, then you could show us those audits, because we like reading those. And I have seen some real funny proof of credibility claims in the past where they'll do an audit on the deposit of where the money goes, but won't do the audit on the withdrawal. But they will give you the audit report as some sort of credibility to say the company had an audit, but it didn't. So we like reading those documents. That's what I'm trying to say. Until that answer is until that is answered properly, the decades-old line should be treated as trust-building claim, not evidence. If the opportunity relies on weekly profits, AI, USDT deposits, license fees, and multi-level Occam rewards, then it needs more than a story. It needs verifiable, audited financials filed with proper regulators. Okay, so this is actually... this was quite a big blog. Whoops, daisy, we've gone all off the screen now. So I'm going to read this paragraph, and this is about the bronze unlock thing. So I don't know if anyone listening here is actually realizing that this is just multi-level marketing and there's no such thing as AI bots.
Bronze unlocks infinity and the recruitment engine. One phrase from Bean's Polar Tensor overview deserves special attention. Bronze unlocks infinity. He has the room repeat it. He explains that rank advancement is based on license volume, and that once members reach bronze, deeper infinity rewards open up. This is exactly how MLM culture is built. Simple slogans, repeated out loud, turning a complicated compensation plan into something people can chant, remember, and teach. Bean explains that every deposit creates a license fee. He says if someone wants $500 to land in the trading account, they deposit $550, because the extra $50 is the 10% license. He describes the license as the product or service, then explains how people earn commissions from license fees and trading profits across their team. This lines up directly with the Polar Tensor PDF, which shows license rewards, residual rewards, infinity rewards, and global leadership pools. That is the core issue. If Polar Tensor is simply AI trading software, why is so much energy spent explaining team volume, license volume, rank advancement, infinity rewards, residuals, and global pools? The answer is obvious. The compensation plan is not a side feature. It is the growth mechanism. Bean also talks about a possible trip to Hong Kong for people who hit Sapphire by July, saying they can see the corporate office, meet staff, and build confidence and belief. That is another classic MLM incentive. Reward the most productive promoters with proximity to the company, then use that proximity as proof that the platform is real.
Yeah. I just think, if you don't mind, try not to send them to my email box. I had somebody today think it was a good idea to send the same email 10 times, so that it got my attention. Thanks very much for that. I just deleted all of them. So if you're going to send me an email, that's great. But it has to be one precise email. I don't want to rant. I just want some basic details, because I can't process all the information. I can't do a lot with it. And I can't get your money back, because a lot of people come back to me and go, I lost $4,000 to BG Wealth Sharing, and I really, and hard, I needed the money, and I'm desperate, and I really need the money back. I can't fix that problem. Unfortunately, we can help educate you and push you into education side of it and help spot. But literally, if you just want my help going forward, I would just say stay away from all people that ask you for money. Everyone that wants you to pay something to get something, it's a scam. It really is that simple. Look, this here is a good example. If you're talking about the bronze unlock facility, it's basically just it's just all jargon for people who know how these work. 5-year compounded interest fantasy. Now I'm going to do another one of these on a bank, and it basically wants you to put your money in for a long time so that they can give you a lot of interest that will never be paid, because they've got 5 years to keep the scam alive until they have to pay out people. And then they're going to tell you to compound your money. This compound fantasy is the dumbest thing that I think people believe. Anyone that says, oh, the bank doesn't give you the same interest as this, so why would you leave your money in the bank? It's really simply answered. Because the bank doesn't steal your principal. You can go back and earn nothing from the bank, but you can keep your principal safe in the bank most of the times.
One of the most dangerous parts of Bean's second video is the 5-year compound interest projection. He tells viewers that if Polar Tensor averages around 4% weekly, then a $500 example could grow to around $4,000 in year 1. $32,000 in year 2, $258,000 in year 3, $2 million in year 4, and $16 million in year 5.
Look, that's batshit crazy, guys. That's too good to be true. There's no other. Even Bernie Madoff didn't give that much money, and he was a scam. Look, don't believe you're going to get $16 million in 5 years' time. Like, everybody would be doing it, wouldn't you?
This is exactly the type of projection that makes people lose their financial judgment. Even if a disclaimer is thrown in saying past results do not guarantee future outcomes, the emotional effect is already achieved. The viewer has mentally seen the fantasy: start small, compound weekly, do nothing, and become rich.
Does that actually, do you guys actually believe that? Are these words going in? You know, are you actually listening to what I'm saying? I'm just curious. I mean, we did a bit of a poll, which we'll finish in a few minutes, but hopefully we're getting through to you. This is all these Ponzi schemes and scams tell you about compounding interest and the beauty of it. And look how rich you're going to be. And then they get a calculator out and they go, year 3, you're going to earn this much. Year 4, you're going to earn this much. Year 5. And if you double your money, you're going to be a non-millionaire in 10 years' time.
A legitimate investment discussion would treat 4% per week as an extraordinary claim requiring extraordinary evidence. It would demand independent audited trading records, regulator-filed financial statements, transparent custody records, and clear proof that returns are coming from real external trading. A Zoom presentation showing compound projections does not meet that standard.
Yeah, I mean, is it really that? I mean, it's sort of it's quite upsetting, to be honest. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Hey, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to get this this next one read, and hopefully I can edit this blog, my video, while you're listening to this.
This is especially dangerous for BG wealth sharing victims because they have already been conditioned to believe in dashboards, compounding, AI trading, and passive growth. Showing them a new version of the same fantasy after the old one collapsed is not harmless. It is financial manipulation dressed up as motivation.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. I've got too long. I was going to put the poll in there, but how long have I got? It's going to be too long. So the results on the poll, I'll tell you instead. We had 55 votes. Thank you very much. That's absolutely awesome. We asked, when a Ponzi scheme collapses, what do promoters do next? So you said 45% of you said rebrand the dream. You are correct. I believe that's what I would have voted anyway. Find another AI bot, 31%. Pretend it's leadership, and you've just got to understand it all works. Blame the platform, 9%. So that's brilliant. Thank you so much. And also thank you everybody who's actually hitting the thumbs up on this video. 5% of you said my videos. Oops, shut up, Danny. My videos, like all you need to do is click that button there. Google goes, ooh, that's popular, and they send it out to people and it turns up in people's feed. I've got 44 people watching me. That is absolutely incredible. Thank you very much. Hope I'm giving you some value. Do make sure, it's really complicated, but do just click the subscribe button, and then that just even makes it all worthwhile. But thank you so much to everybody. My Avengers are actually working hard behind the scenes, providing me information. I'm actually, to be honest, I'm a little bit disappointed. I don't know if you noticed, I think I shut these down. But the polar-money.com is suspected phishing site. This is the only website that's still going, and that's the one he's promoting. All the others were either overloaded because they're in such big demand, or obviously it's just a rubbish website. And I think when I went to this website, I went to the bottom and I found another website. I can't even see them really, but this website could be independent to all those other companies that are now experiencing problems. But I was just amazed that it was so funny that their website is actually broken, and we've already got one of those famous warnings on there, which is absolutely batshit crazy. All right, so that is there. The legal pages that say the thing. Now, I don't know if I made this point clear, but if you look at the compliance pages, this is an overkill. Compliance, risk disclosure, regulatory status, conflict of interest, no interest. All these here were just absolutely batshit crazy. Oh, nice. Look at that. Somebody's become a platinum member on my YouTube channel. That is so nice. Thank you so much for that. That is super cool. Welcome to the clad. All right. The legal pages, it says the promoters say, the legal pages say one thing, the promoters say another. So listen to this.
Polar Tensor's legal pages are full of disclaimers. The group legal structure document says the company is designed to separate custody, payment processing, execution technology, and research. It repeatedly tries to avoid the appearance of discretionary asset management, pooled investment vehicles, collective investment schemes, or unlicensed financial intermediation.
I love these legal pages. Every time you put the legal pages, just chuck them into ChatGPT and ask whether you should sign up for something.
The MICA readiness document says the EU entity is prepared for CASP Level 3 authorization and frames the system as execution only, non-discretionary technology rather than asset management or collective investment activity. The risk disclosure says users may lose some or all of their capital, and that there are no guarantees of profit, no capital protection, and no minimum performance thresholds.
Well, that makes me feel like investing. Now, we've got a comment here. Oh, I seem to have, what do you say? I seem to have forgotten to charge my card for the membership. That's all right. We can take your credit card if you could put them up on the screen. Just kidding. Just become a member. You did. That is so cool. Thank you very much. Okay, fixed it. All right, that was a drama gone. You can actually click the join button under my YouTube channel, and we do have, I think, memberships from as little as $1 a month last time I looked. But there's a join button under the video, and it's going to really help us build our Avenger network. We had a good meeting today, literally for about an hour and a half while I was doing the garden. I had a broken finger. Don't do that where you've got a broken finger. And we're actually looking at building our Avenger network. So we actually are hoping that people like Brian might want to change the spots on his leopard colored coat and actually, do the right thing and stop promoting this rubbish that's on the internet.
That sounds careful on paper, but the marketing and promoter presentations create a very different impression. The PDF tells people they can start earning right away, receive Friday distributions, earn from license rewards, earn from team trading profits, unlock infinity rewards, and qualify for global leadership pools. Brian Bean then tells BG and ESJ victims that Polar Tensor is a soft landing, where they can make their money back another way.
Yes, and
this is the contradiction at the heart of the whole thing. The legal pages are written to limit liability, while the promoter presentations are designed to create belief. The disclaimers say no guarantees. The pitch shows compounding. The documents say no advice. The Zoom calls explain how to deposit, rank up, and earn. The legal structure says technology only. The compensation plan says recruitment machine.
Yeah, so read those papers, get some advice from a registered financial advisor, and ask them whether you should invest in this thing. You already know the answer. So stop throwing your money away. Your financial advisor would not recommend that you join an online platform like this, where a promoter is hiding behind a Zoom meeting, publishing unlisted videos on a different to a different audience. He's got one persona over here and another one over here. And he's hiding this one, telling you what to do with your money, but he doesn't want to go public with it. He just wants to send out an unlisted link and telling you what to do with your money. This guy is a bottom feeder. And he's still, even after our lovely phone call for 2 hours, who seemed like I actually gave him a window to potentially doing something right, he is still promoting Polar today. So he was just lying to me. He didn't listen to anything. He didn't learn anything from me spending a couple of hours talking to him on his own Zoom meeting. And at the moment, as we speak, this is recorded live, I've got both his Zoom meetings open. The 2 Zoom meetings that we shut down when he was recruiting 120 people, telling them what to do with their money. Now, if you went to his other social media, you won't find anything other. He was literally going to text people his new Zoom ID so he could fire up another meeting that wasn't going to get bombarded by the Avengers. This guy needs to learn a lesson, and we will teach him stuff he never knew about the internet.
People believe platforms like Polar Tensor because they are not built to look like obvious scams. They are built to look sophisticated. There are legal documents, company registrations, founder stories, app-style dashboards, technical AI language, performance charts, compliance wording, and polished promoters who claim they have met the people behind the platform.
Right. So these legal disclaimers, literally when you go down the bottom here and you look at the compliance, this is these legal disclaimers. Because I use ChatGPT myself, I can tell you that these are not legal compliance. Every single one of these letters I chucked into GPT and I asked it to give me, to basically group legal structure, the purpose and legal nature of this disclosure. This is bullshit shit. This is poos and wheeze, absolute rubbish, crap. This is no such thing as compliance. But the reason they put those links at the bottom is because when they get their templated website design going, they need to put something in there. The more of these lines, they just bamboozle people into thinking that this is real, true, and genuine. Well, I didn't even go through the legal stuff, the terms of use, privacy policies, English, US. This is just to make it look official. Get the mobile app. I can't believe that this company has actually managed to launch an app in the Apple App Store. That pisses me off. And now, look at this, polar-money.com. Suspected, wait until we report all the other websites. And that's because they have malware in their website. That's how we get those warnings. We submit them, they get reviewed, they find the website's got malware. That means it's going through mining your information. Did I get that one? I think it did. Mixed powerful. The victims does not fall for one single thing. They fall for the environment. The website sounds technical. The PDFs look professional. The promoter sounds successful. He's got himself a car he bought with crypto. The dashboard looks active. The app gives a feeling of control. The ranks and the bonuses make you feel like a real business. The legal documents make it feel official. This is why the App Store style trust signals matters well. People think that because something has an app, it must be safe. And that's honestly how it used to be. When we used to see something in the Apple App Store, we were like, ooh, it must be real. Apple wouldn't let it in there. These scams have got past the Apple firewall. Rest in peace, Steve Jobs. He would turn in his grave if he saw what was going now. That's not true. An app can display anything the platform wants to display. The dashboard balance is not proof of real trading. It's what database, whatever, Oh, look at that. I've got another member. Stop it. I'm getting embarrassed. Nice to have you here. Thank you for joining the show. That is so nice. Look at this. We need more ladies here. Gives these girls like Queen Occam and Susie some competition. That's good. Thank you very much for joining the channel. And look, I've got accolades of flattery. Danny DeHeck is the best. Oh, well, no, CoffeeZilla is the best. Just saying. Anyway, so let's carry on. The illusion works because it gives people just enough confidence to stop asking the right questions. Instead of asking the audience financial statements filled with regulations, they ask whether someone got paid last Friday. They ask whether someone got paid last Friday. Instead of asking who controls the wallets, they ask whether the app looks clean. Instead of asking whether the founder has verifiable professional history before the scheme. They ask whether someone met him in Las Vegas. That does not quite flow the way I wanted it to, and I'm going to get it read. Sorry about that. Whoops.
Instead of asking who controls the wallets, they ask whether the app looks clean. Instead of asking whether the founder has a verifiable professional history before the scheme, they ask whether someone met him in Las Vegas.
Now, when it comes to Stephen Beard, I offered people $1 million of GGC gold token coin. That's what I was going to pay if they could find the real Stephen Beard. Now, one thing we do as researchers and often investigators, we research the founder behind the company. Now, any of these programs, even though they've got a guy that he's met face to face, there's no digital footprint of him. And these guys have got these amazing accolades saying they were the best thing since sliced bread on their PDFs. But when it comes to researching the history of these people, finding their LinkedIn accounts, finding who they're associated to, going to watch on LinkedIn chats that they've had on other things that are going on, we just don't find any of that stuff. And then that means, I can spend 10 minutes diving around the internet, trying to find this guy that's best thing since sliced bread, as I said, and I can't find a digital footprint. So that straight away gives us a red flag. And look, this is what red flags look like. I even had one in my office. Every time I'm sitting here researching a researcher and I see something shady, I pick up my red flag. Even if I'm not on camera, I wave my red flag. I found a red flag. So you guys need to look at those red flags and find them out for yourself. And look at this. The red flag victims need to see clearly. The warning signs around the Polar Tensor are not subtle when you put the evidence together. I'm not asking readers to react emotionally. I'm asking them to look at the pattern. The patterns are the same every time. The biggest red flags are BG wealth sharing and DSJ victims are being redirected to a new opportunity called Polar Tensor. Brian N. Bean marketed Polar Tensor as a soft landing after BG. Bob Bearden is connected to Polar Tensor after involvement in other failed schemes. Polar Tensor PDF victims, MLM style license rewards, residual. I'm not going to say this. This is going to be too much for Danny to say, and I did want to read them with vigor and vim.
The Polar Tensor PDF confirms MLM style license rewards, residuals, infinity rewards, ranks, and global pools. The business relies on AI trading claims without regulator-filed audited proof of external trading revenue. Promoters use compound interest projections that can make small deposits look like future millions. Legal disclaimers distance the company from guarantees while marketing materials promote weekly earning potential.
I fell off my scooter and I just realized I got a bruise. But there's no bruise there. 56-year-old man fell off his scooter. That was in the front page of the local rag. What we're getting out there, guys, these are all the red flags. We know a lot of these individuals that you may have heard for the first time today. We've been watching them for 5 years. We've got a database on anyone that's promoting. They've all got the same red flags. Okay, none of these red flags none of these red flags need to stand alone. The concern is the pattern. Polar Tensor is being marketed as an AI trading platform. That's the first red flag I hear. But on its own presentation shows a recruitment-driven compensation structure. It's just multi-level marketing, guys. Promoters are not merely telling people platform exists. They are teaching them how to deposit, how to, what was it, fee networks, how the fee works. Fee works? Is that right? Fee? Fee works. How the rank works. How the infinity opens. Infinity? I need to work on all the social media. I need to work on understanding how multi-level marketing terms, like left leg, right leg used to be something I had to figure out, but now I've got to understand how affinity opens and how the team can generate income. That's why I am naming names. People moving victims from BG Wealth Sharing to Polar Tensor are part of the risk. They are not neutral observers. They are not just sharing education. They are building belief, driving traffic, and potentially earning from people they influence. When one scheme collapses, the promoters move on. Isn't that funny how they've actually done this? Now, I've got one last paragraph. I'm going to read this. I'm going to be off in a jiffy because I want to actually go to the shop. I'm actually going to pick up a new wee screen, and I'm hoping to do that before 6 o'clock tonight. Anyway, let me get this paragraph read to you. Now, this is the paragraph I should be reading with real vigor and vim to drive the point home for anyone who might actually think that Polar Tensor is actually a good opportunity. And for some reason, my computer will not let me scroll to the top. But while it's doing that, I want to see whether my my shop is open to 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock so I can go down and see it. But when someone, let's go. When someone, I'm just going to read the whole lot. Watch this. Listen to this for a sec. Now listen to this, because I've spent 2 hours and 45 minutes of my life trying to help people understand that this is a scam. And this paragraph is meant to drive it all home. And I was going to read it, but I'm getting lazy.
When one scheme collapses, the promoters move on. This is the part the public needs to understand. These schemes do not die when the website stops working. They die only when the promoter pipeline is exposed. If the same leaders can move their audience from one opportunity to the next, then the scam economy continues uninterrupted. Victims lose money, promoters reposition themselves, and the cycle starts again. Bob Bearden's history is a major red flag. Brian N. Bean's videos are major red flags. The Polar Tensor PDF is a major red flag. The MLM compensation plan is a major red flag. The attempt to sell Polar Tensor as a soft landing after BG Wealth Sharing is not just a detail, it is the story. I have seen this pattern too many times to ignore it. First comes the opportunity, then comes the belief, then comes the dashboard, then comes the recruitment, then come the excuses, then withdrawals slow down, then victims are told to stay calm, then a new platform appears, and somehow, the same type of people who helped spread the last one are already standing at the front of the next room. So if you were involved in BG Wealth Sharing or DSJ and someone is now telling you Polar Tensor is how you get back on the horse, stop and ask the question they do not want you asking. Are they helping you recover, or are they moving you into the next machine?
Yeah, they are moving you into the next machine. I can't express that enough, guys. And I actually, after doing this for so many years with my team of Avengers who are absolutely God-given amazing, I just think it's such a sad thing that people, I say to people, and I do, and I mean this, and it's terrible, but I say that 60% of the people that we see invest in these get rich quick, too good to be true Ponzi scams, reoffend. They go into the next one. And I think 60%, that's just my mathematical equation. Or they tell me that they've lost money to BG Wealth Sharing or whatever it is, but I've still got another opportunity that's still working out all right. And I go, what do you mean you're on another opportunity? And they'll tell me the name of it. And I'll say, well, how come you think that one's okay? And they go, oh, because I still get money out of it. And I go, so you're judging the platform that you're currently in because you're still getting money out of it. And I said, oh, I'm doing quite well on this one. I've invested 1,000 and I'm actually at 12, 1,300, 1,800, whatever it is. And I go, oh, and how do you know you can get your money out of it? And they go, well, I can see it on the app. And I go, what app is it? And we just go through the same pattern every time. If your money's not in your Binance wallet and it's not in your crypto.com wallet, it's not really safe as much. If it's in your FX wallet, you're safe. Oh, they fell over. But, like, stop doing it. Yeah, stop doing it. Stop getting involved in, you know, just stop giving your money away to these scammers. If you have to download a tricky exchange wallet, if you have to transfer your USDT into their stupid coin, and you have to pay it with this, and you have to do it before a certain date, and you have to make sure that you do the minimum investment of $100, and you have to, all these have to do this and loop through. They're educating you how to throw your money into the streets. All these complicated processes that you do, have to sign up for these processes, and all this fake KYC details, and you have to hold up your passport. They're just making you jump through hoops so that you think that you're doing something legitimate. What the heck? BG Wealth Sharing asks you for your passport, your driver's license, your social security number, your home address, your date of birth, your phone number. What do you think they're going to do with that information? If you're giving your private details over to these scam companies that are running out of human trafficking compounds, you are really risking your, it's identity theft. They'll be applying for a new credit card with your details, and you gave it to them. It's priceless. So a lot of people going, what can you do? Well, if you go to my website, deheck.com, there is some help there available. And this is not a sales pitch. I'd rather, if you're going to support me by buying me a cup of coffee, that you bought one of my journals. And I'll show you that now because it's really important to me. If we go to this, my website here, and you're reading the blog that we've just done right now, you'll see these orange buttons over to the left here. And it says that you can book me for an express chat. Yes, it will cost you money, but it's quite disruptive for me, so I do charge a little bit for that. You can sponsor a review. Maybe that you have invested $20 million into an opportunity and you would like me to review it. I'm happy to do that, but it does cost a little bit. You can, a support session. That's where you might need somebody to talk to you going forward. I'm willing to talk to you. Ebooks. These are the cheapest option of the lot. Ebooks are pretty cool. Look at this, guys. This is amazing. I just noticed something there that popped up on my screen. I had 80 subscribers 2 weeks ago. I now have 999 subscribers, supporters who support what we're doing as the Avengers. We've been doing this for 5 years, and I haven't been using this program for 5 years. But thank you so much for the people that support the work that we do in the Avengers. I am not a one-man band. We're an orchestra of Avengers, and we work hard at trying to name and shame anyone running or promoting a Ponzi scheme or a scam. We name the bad actors. We will help you see the red flags. That's what we do. But I'd never seen that number. I never ever thought I'd have 999 subscribers here supporting me. And look, it says now I'm streaming now. I don't know how it figures that out. But anyway, we have recently sold a few of these investment scam survival guides. You can purchase one. It's $5. You can send it to anybody you like. It's a 27-page booklet that will help you spot the red flags. And look, if you've already invested, not many people want to buy this one, but exit guide, damage control guide, or the red flag playbook. How do you identify the red flags? How do you figure out whether somebody's telling you a bunch of lies? And the last one, and it's a new one that we've just done, the recovery scam survival guide. People are going to be telling you what to do with how to get your money back. Do not listen to them. It's a scam. Hey, look, everybody, that's me for today. I will be out tomorrow. I will put this live video. I do 12 hours apart. You get the live, and then I chop it up and I put it back on, and every 12 hours there should be a new video from Danny, except every day but Monday, which is your Sunday, because I have to have a life apparently. All right, guys, love you, mean it. Thank you very much for the people that joined the YouTube channel. If you want to join us, hit the join button underneath. We thank you so much for your support, especially from the CoffeeZilla crew that's now part of my family. Really appreciate the support. I mean that with all my heart. You guys are awesome. You make this possible. And I just want to say thank you. And thank you to my team of Avengers who have helped me prepare for today. It wouldn't be possible without their support. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching. I'm Danny DeHeck, signing out. See you at the bottom of the cliff. Oh, no. Let's see you at the top of the cliff. Don't get thrown off the cliff by these promoters of stupid stuff. Sharpen up. See you in the next video.